sympathy. I gave you everything. I gave you everything. If this world were mine. Woman, drop it like it's hot. Hello, Vanguard. Welcome. How you doing? I should move my chat box over here. What is up? How are you? Hi, everyone. You will notice that the fundraiser jumped up a ton since my last stream because I donated my Twitch earnings for the month, and I had min-max instead of paying me what they were I mean, this is more than I was going to get paid, to be clear. Instead of paying me what they were going to pay me for all the work I did for them last month, I asked them to donate it instead. So we're really close to 10k raise for LA fire relief. Very, very close. I was only going to do it for January, but now that we're so close, I figured we would stick to it. Until we hit the 10k, which would be amazing. Hello, what can get you, my friend? What is up? Yeah, I just came back from my first cruise. It was fun. I'm wearing a shirt that somebody gifted me. The fire department in Chicago. That was pretty cool. People were really nice. Definitely a little sick though. I do have a shockingly bad immune system. And everyone kind of warned me that that would happen on a cruise, but oh boy. It really did happen. And I wash my hands too much, to be clear. I'm like a notorious hand washer. If I touch a dog, I gotta be right back. I gotta wash my hands. Like I'm a little OCD about it. Didn't work out for me. Thank you, fun-loving criminal. Nice to see you as always. And Pizzecker, nice to see you as always too. 4 years, that's crazy. I did see an Australian won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. Yes. Happy for the Eagles to have won. As somebody who knows nothing about sport. Well, that particular sport, obviously. Yeah, it was awesome. I didn't get seasick, no. It was definitely the second last night that I was DJing. It was rougher, and so like the boat was kind of swaying a little, and you could feel it while I was DJing, which was definitely a really weird feeling. And when I got back to my room, because I had like a balcony room, and I looked out over the ocean, it being fully pitch black, no land in sight, and you seeing big waves was definitely a little weird. Thank you, CS King Baba. Any plans for the 4-year partner anniversary? I guess I could do that now, huh? I've never done a celebration stream before. Maybe we could do something. We could figure something out. Let me think about it. What day is it? The 21st is my anniversary, I think? I'll have to check. I don't remember. Thank you, Ordinary Robot and Aram. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, JX Boogs. Love to see you all. Congratulations, Big Boss 007. Confirmed not fake gamer. That's absolutely huge for you. You should be proud. Disco, I did play I'm on a Boat several times, yes. Almost every night. I also played a lot of Drake songs because, devastatingly, the man has club bangers. He really does have great songs for people to dance to. And, I finished them all off almost every single time. If I played a Drake song, I would then play Not Like Us immediately afterwards. I was like, wait, I gotta do it. Somebody gotta do it. Thank you, Jay Costava and Rizzardino. How much food did I eat on the cruise? Very little. I was not super happy with the food, specifically. There were just not enough veggies, man. So I would say I like dramatically underate because I wasn't a big fan of the food. Devastatingly. Am I enjoying the cheap eggs over there? Yeah, update on Eggate, everyone. I've been doing it every week. You find the most recent one. Where's Eggate? Where did I put it? Eggate 2025 prices. Oh, that's right. When I checked, so I haven't done today. I keep doing it after I finish streaming. Last Monday, San Francisco just had no eggs. The San Francisco store that I was pricing from had no eggs. Which is pretty nuts. I guess Walmart did, but Target was out. So the Target, I also had to change brands for one of them. So it kind of looks like it went down, but it didn't. I had to change the brand. Otherwise, prices are largely exactly the same. Most of them are exactly the same, with one exception where one of the brands is up from $6.29 to $7.42. So egg prices have either stayed exactly the same or increased. Again, with the exception of one store not even having eggs. Huge news. This is the news you tune in for, I'm sure. Thank you, Alanah86. Big grocery stores have started putting limits on eggs. Yeah, so to be fair, Australia, while I was at home, because obviously I was home a lot last year, also had like a massive egg shortage because of bird flu. So it is a global issue. Did Raul have a good time with egg while you were gone? If he did, he cleaned it up. So I don't even know about it. I don't even know about it. Probably a good thing because you guys have bird flu running amok and the government institutions can't even share information about what's happening. What do you mean? Everything's fine. Oh, wait, so that's nearly $10 for 12 eggs. Let me check if that one... So the 742 is 12 eggs. They are large and they are cage-free. I chose a variety of different brands. Those are the most expensive ones. But like the Target brands are almost $5 for 12 eggs. It does say grade A large eggs. They're 12 count, but they are not cage free. Yeah, I pulled a few different egg brands, but yeah, huge news, San Francisco out of egg. But yeah, I'll update it again after I stream today. See how Egggate is going. So the only thing that's changed regarding eggs is they have either stayed the same or increased. It is what it is. Thank you, Dallas Fury 717. I work in food service and have 15 dozen cases of eggs with 38 exactly a year ago. Now they're 108 per case. Oh my god. Ugh. That's too much. That's too much. It's too much. Oh, thank you, Moof Juice. Yeah, it was, so yeah, DJing the cruise was fun. If anyone who doesn't know, I was on the first official Comic-Con San Diego cruise for the past 5 days. My first time on a cruise. And, I DJ'd, I think, like 5 parties. The one that I Instagrammed or attempted to Instagram, I did not have great internet connection, so it canceled on me. Was sci-fi themed, so I kind of tried to go with sci-fi vibes. Probably the most fun one was, it was a pajama party, so I was also wearing pajamas, so was everyone else, but I went really cheesy. Like, it was all like top 40s from like 1998 to 2012, and that one was really, really fun. It's a really cool thing where, like, because I kept having the same people come. Obviously, you're on a boat with the same people, so I kept having the same people come to dance, and I ended up having like favorite dances. Like, there were people that I'd be like, hell yeah, I love this person, just like the vibe, or like they were a really good dancer, or I don't know. So a lot of them were, it was like making a connection with somebody, because I've never like DJ'd this for the exact same group of people over and over and over again. That was a surprisingly fun part about it. Did it smell okay? Yeah, it smelled fine. I have to ask, noting out what gear did you use? You have to bring it yourself, or do they provide? So when I play for myself, I actually just bought a new deck. It's in there. It's like I bought a new like one-piece deck. I don't even remember what it is. It's Pioneer. For the cruise, they had two Pioneer Nexus 2000 CDJs, and the mix board was, I think, a DJM 900, also Pioneer, which is like one of my favorite setups, to be honest. I have been using those CDJ 2000 Nexuses for 12 years, and they are still my favorite. I really, really love it. Did I allow requests too? Yes, but there's a really funny thing about requesting for a DJ. Um, so people would come up to me and have a request, and they'd be like, "Do you take requests?" And I'd be like, "If I have the song." Which is the thing a lot of people don't consider is that you just don't have all music that's ever existed at your disposal. You just have what you have downloaded. So it's like, if I have the song, I can take it. And some people would be like, "Do you have this?" And I'd be like, "I don't have it. I'm sorry." And then they like, some people like, "No worries," or some people kind of get offended. But then people will request things, and I mix pretty meticulously. And so, like, if you're playing something that's at like 80 BPM and they request a song that's at 120 BPM, there are ways to cheat to get there faster, but you can't mix those two songs together because the BPM is off. So, like, my goal as a DJ is to have everybody dancing and to prevent a stop in dancing. And the easiest way to make people stop dancing is to jump between BPMs or like jump between songs without actually mixing them together. Like, it's best if like they're dancing to one and then you start mixing the next one in slowly, and then some of them go, "Oh, I love this song," and then they realize and they keep dancing. You can't jump from 80 BPM to 120 BPM. It doesn't work. And I kept having to explain that to people. I'd be like, "So yeah, but it's going to take me a little while to get there because I'm currently at 80." So it's a weird recurring thing where I'd be like, "I could play it, but it could take me a while to play that song." And then there was this one guy who I actually, funnily enough, have on camera, who asked me if I could play Lynyrd Skynyrd. And I was like, I do have one Lynyrd song, but I don't think the vibe is right. And I tried to say that as politely as possible, where like at the time I had a whole dance floor of people dancing, and it was like very specific, like early 2000s R&B was what everybody was dancing to. And they were very happy. It was going great. Like they were like hyping each other up. Like it was super fun. And I was like, I can't really do that right now because it wouldn't be right to all of these people for me to play that. And he was like, "Well, you can, you just don't want to." And I was like, "I guess." Like, I was like, "I can't. It's just not the right vibe for everybody else in the room. I'm sorry." And he was like, "We can't just go Southern for a second." And I was like, "It doesn't work that way." I'm sorry. I literally cannot do that without being a shitty DJ. But yeah, I'm totally open to requests because I don't play off a playlist. I play off I have just giant folders with like, here are 2,000 songs that fit this particular vibe, and then I just pick and choose based on the people in front of me, and it's really fun. But yeah, that's right. I don't want to fuck off. I think I said, he was like, "You don't want to." He was like, "Well, you can, you just don't want to." And I was like, "I mean, I guess." I said, "I mean, I guess it just wouldn't. I just don't think it would be the right thing to do." And he was like, I don't know. He said, "Really?" or something, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, well, maybe later." That's how I ended the conversation because I was like, I don't know how else to handle it. Very funny. And yeah, technically I could do it, but it is my job to make sure people have a fun time and dance, and it is not my job to play a song for one particular person, basically. But I'm totally cool with requests for sure. There was one girl who every single night requested Low, that apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, which she was right to request. It popped off every single time, but she requested it every night, and I was like, "She's coming up to request Low again. I know it. And then she'd be like, "Can you play Low again?" And I'd be like, "I got you. Give me a second." But it's a fun song to DJ, so no beef. Thank you, Alex and Eagle. My favorite track to troll the dance floor while also instantly changing the vibe temp is Douster King of Africa. It's a cool Bale Funkish remix of the Lion King Circle of Life. Oh, that's cool. I did do a fun troll actually, specifically with this. I laughed out loud. It was very funny for me to do this because, like, again, when you're DJing with the same group of people, it's like I'm kind of getting to know some of them. And they know that I can DJ by this point because they've seen me do it several times. So I did a really fun troll, which was, it was that song that's like, "Everybody hands go up and they stay there," which I think is like T.I. I don't remember who it's by. But you know it, like, oh, it's All I Do Is Win. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Yeah, it's DJ Khaled. So on the third time that it got to Everybody Hands Go Up, because again, there was a big crowd and they were all screaming it. They were going, "All I do is win," and then "Everybody hand go up and they stay." I paused the song. So when it went, "Everybody hands go up," I paused it, and then they all yell and they stay there, and I just cracked up laughing. And everybody looked at me and was like, It was very funny. It was very, very funny to me. I was very entertained by my own stupid troll. And then I just hit play again. It was a good time. I basically did pause for 4 more beats than normal, yeah. It wasn't for a super long time. It was enough for them to notice they were being trolled, because at first they're confused and they're like, what happened to the song? And then they realized I done trolled them. So everybody, nothing's been happening since I've been gone, right? Everything's been really chill. Nothing's been happening at all. Nothing. I did get people to sing A minor repeatedly, yes. Thank you, Portugal. Did I do anything else on the ship when I wasn't DJing? I was working mostly. I did a lot of reading. But I have been unwell lately. Try not to talk about this too much, but I have a chronic illness. It sometimes is bad, and so I just need so much sleep. So realistically, I just slept on a boat for a week in between doing some writing and a bunch of reading. So I didn't do very much, is the truth. We did check out Mexico. Cozumel, Mexico, which was beautiful. I went for a swim, but was surrounded by jellyfish. There were so many jellyfish that it was the least peaceful swim of my life. Like, I would be like swimming this beautiful clear water, and then I would like push jellyfish away from me. I'd be like, get just away, please. I would like use the current to get the jellyfish away because there were so many jellyfish. Thank you, Amy Plays. This I stole it from my dad when I was in Australia last. I was like, can I have that Holden cup? And he was like, yeah, all right. So I love it. That was my asthma on the cruise. Totally fine. Totally fine. Thankfully. Wi-Fi was not great. But not terrible either. Somewhere in between. I have this song in my head, you guys, that I shared on my Instagram story, in case you haven't heard it. I'm such a big fan. I'm in the middle of a hostile government takeover. If we talk about it, then I'll be late for work. Yeah. Just know that, I don't care that you can't hear it, okay? Just know that I was vibing. I was thinking maybe I could find it on YouTube. How would I even find this song on the internet? Oh, hello. Surprise, surprise. I am. I was just talking about the cruise. How would I find this song? How would I find it? Hostile government takeover song, you're right. We're gonna go over news, Rahul. Everything's great.
I haven't finished basing the sounds. What? My first attempt at OSL. What? You don't like it?
You need to do more.
More where?
More OSL.
I didn't want to overdo it because it's just a pistol.
It needs like whoosh, a flush. You know what I mean?
No.
You've currently done it like how do I? The end of it needs a bloom.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's currently like a series of lines, which I get. You've done it like on the parts where the lights would catch it, but it needs a like bloom that fades out towards the end of the gun. You feel me?
I don't know how to do that.
I did that on mine with dry brushing. Just very, very little paint, dry brush, and just.
But what color?
Well, let's have a look at what an actual gun looks like. Muzzle flash on a gun.
Fun.
What the hell do I do?
What's that flash on a fun?
Orange. white, orange. Just start real pale so that if you need to swap it around, you can. Well, let me show you other people's minis then. Mini paint. The hell do I do? Orange.
Didn't I do that?
You've only like done you've done hard lines. You know what I mean?
But I've put like can you see on the body like little flecks of like on his
I'm
bicep?
saying like right here.
Oh, you're talking
Bloom
about
of
just
light.
this front part.
Yeah,
Just
the
something
parts that
here.
are closer to the light need more light.
Oh, I see.
Like the light is lighting them up. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Which again, I'm pretty sure I did on the Balrog with dry brushing, and I just started very, very simple, and then
you just glaze. I just glaze some light
yeah,
onto.
yeah, you could glaze, but maybe it won't show up that well because it's so dark.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Look at that, there. You can see the OSL chat. What do you think?
OSL is object source lighting, chat.
I tried to.
Not Liam.
That does look good though, Pierce.
It's beautiful.
Fine.
I just think you could add a little. Do you know what I mean? Just a little. It needs to be a little bit lighter on the edge there. Right now, it's also the light is. It's picking up the light of the room, which is helping. But you know what I mean? If you look at the Balrog, I think I did a pretty good job with OSL.
Yeah. All right.
Can you bring him in here? I've never shown him on the internet.
What?
Liam in shambles. The
Balrog.
Balrog, yeah.
Yeah.
You saying what? To be clear, everybody, Rahul is excellent. He's a very good painter. He's very, very, very good at that. If you're saying, wait a minute, who we have to stop this? No. What's wrong with him? What's wrong? That's okay.
He's not been touched. Hold on, I'm dusting your. He's not been touched. This is Alanah's mini. Massive.
Yeah, I like him big. Goddamn.
We gotta finish this.
Yeah, I'll finish it. Let's do it sometime soon, bub.
Yeah.
Take over. To be clear, this is my first, okay? It's not. I'm not trying to brag. Eh? Eh? The fire took such a long time. He's also not that many, but like that's what I mean by my OSL roll, you see? I just dry brushed it there.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And like a little bit around the face. And I did like this. I dry brushed as well. To get the fire. That is all. Dry brushing OSL. I didn't blend that very well, but the wings were actually really hard to keep the texture.
You probably can push it a bit more. Looking at it. But it is good.
It's okay. It was fun though. I enjoyed it. I just gotta base him.
Yeah, what we got to do, I think, is figure out something here. Oh no, you have to do the floor. The floor has flames.
Yes.
So that
I have to also do OSL on the bottom.
Yeah.
He's just a little guy for sure. He's just a little guy.
After this, you need to do like a bird or something with like, or a troll, something skin. I think you'd be good at skin. This is like a really
I just want to. I love doing this. I had a really fun time.
So dusty.
Yeah, actually, there's tons of this I haven't done. I haven't done the backside of the wings.
No, wings aren't there.
Wow. I just did all of this. I mean, I think that looks pretty sick.
Sorry.
The mouth is like fires of hell type shit, you know what I mean? I think I killed his face, actually. That's the one thing I think I did a pretty good job of. All of the little different layers of colors on his face. Which was also all dry brushing. It was fun. Forgot what else I was saying. Thank you.
Musk.
No, hang on. You ready, everybody?
We're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. I wanna talk about it, but I'll be late for work. And if you're saying, wait a minute, who we have to stop this? We have one, but you didn't want that lady in office. Hostile government takeover. Hostile government. We're a part of a Nigerian prince. Damn, surprise, surprise, ended up being a white man. Oh, I just wanna know what the hell do I do? I drink. And if you're saying, wait a minute, who we have to stop this? We have one, but you didn't want that lady in office. Hostile government.
Anyway, that's the song. It's great. I'm a big fan. I also just, there's something so succinct about we're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. I want to talk about it, but I'll be late for work. Whoa, thank you. Mickey B6453, thank you so much. That ended way too soon. I think they're talking about making it a full song. Big fan, big fan. What the hell do I do? Saying, wait a minute, who we have to stop this? Found out recently that people froth at the mouth about you stealing art from people. Listen, it's something that I've spoken about many times on streams. Yeah, I've done, like, I've multiple times been like, here's every time I've been cancelled. But they really misrepresent it. They really, really, really misrepresent it. And I try not to downplay that because I did do something wrong. But what I did is not what they say I did. So it's a tough thing to, basically, I used to just redraw stuff all the time. Like, I was just redrawing. I would take official art and I would redraw it. Very common thing to do. I mean, I could show you, like, give me any franchise. You know what I mean? Halo redraw. We're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. Well, I guess it's smarter if I do something that's art. Evangelion, redraw. What the hell do I do? You know, this is a redraw. The person signed it themselves. They did not credit the original artist. Really common thing to do. Really, really, really common. I was doing it all the time. I had videos at the time of me doing it. I was very publicly open about the fact that I was redrawing stuff. It's super common. It's also common to do it without saying it's a redraw. Like, I'm sure if you went through, like, if I go through, like, Evangelion fan art, it's not even uncommon for people to not address that something is a redraw. Because, like, if you're doing it off a screenshot, it's like, well, people know, you know what I mean? So, very common thing to do. What I did wrong was, unknowingly, redraw someone else's fan art. I assumed it was official. And I even have, hostile government takeover. I wanna talk about it, but I'll be late for work. So where is it? I have the exact screenshot of the website that I took it from. Which, I don't know why it was called this. I basically just Googled Sekiro and then picked something to redraw. This is the exact thing that I redrew. I just did, like, what's a very common learning technique, which is you put, like, grids on paper and then you grid the art. So you're just drawing, you probably learned to do that in school. That's where I learned to do it. So you just copy something off of a grid system. And I didn't realize it was fan art. It's very good, to be fair, but it also looks like the official art. I assumed it was official. That's all it was. And so I redrew it. I did publicly in the comments. I didn't in the caption, because again, it was not really a thing people did that often. They should. But I think I have screenshots of this too. Like, there are tweets, comments publicly where I said shit like this. Like, this tweet is still up. People just conveniently ignore it. From before anyone got mad at me. It says, oh, it's more than I'm sharing that it's not an original design, which does make things a lot faster. I just copied an image, which makes proportions easier. There are a bunch of comments I left publicly like that before anyone got mad at me. that were like, oh, no, this is a copy. But I, like I said, was doing it all the time. I assumed everyone knew that I was doing it. I was publicly open about it. But I redrew somebody else's art unknowingly. As soon as I found out that I had done that, this was like 7 years ago for the record. As soon as I found out that I had done that, I took it down. I apologized. I DM'd the artist and offered to pay them. And I never did it again. But the way that they present this particular thing, which again, I did do something wrong. I should have looked harder. It was lazy. Like I didn't there was no credit on the website. I didn't click through to look at it. Frankly, it was in Russian, which again, you can still see here. I don't know if this website even exists anymore, but you could find it on, well, that's probably not even Russian. I don't know what language that is. But nothing on the page, you know, there was no signature. It was different language at the bottom there. You can see it. I don't know what it was. None of it said any indication that it wasn't. But yeah, as soon as someone was like, hey, wait, this is stolen. I took it down and apologized. And people take the takedown as me like trying to hide it because I got caught, which what I actually did was realize I had made a mistake. It wasn't like I did something and got caught and was like, oh no, everyone's going to find out. Like I realized I had done something wrong, you know? But yeah, publicly apologized at the time, 7 years ago, I think 6 or 7 years ago. And they now present it. Again, I did do something wrong. That's why I don't like dismissing this one. I'm also super open about it. I did do something wrong. I should have looked harder. It is bad that any of this stuff, like any fan art, they don't credit the original artist. It like very rarely ever happens. But they present it as though I literally downloaded it and posted it like someone else's art, even though when you look at it side by side, you can see that I have redrawn it. It's so clear it's a redraw. The tweets are still up where I said it was copied. It wasn't hidden. It's just a thing that I did. And it's, again, very common for people to not even address that something's a redraw. But yeah, like I never want to downplay this one. But, of course, the worst people in the world don't see it that way. You didn't do something wrong, you made a mistake, and it sounds like you took responsibility. I'm in agreement, I made a mistake. I think I did do something wrong. I think I should have looked harder. I should have checked. Definitely was never lying about it, to be clear. I never lied. I didn't, like, publicly say... It didn't say in the caption that it was a redraw, because, again, that's pretty uncommon to do. Like, you could still see that all the time. Like, let me give you, like, if I give you, like, Spider-Man fan art, you'll see tons of examples of people doing this. Hi, Bando. And not crediting where they drew it from. Like, this is probably copied off a cover. They almost always are. People don't, it's just called fan art, you know? People don't really say that, which is also wrong. They should. You should say it's a redraw. But I did say it openly, publicly in comments before I got in trouble, and those timestamps are still there. They just ignore them. They just ignore them. Just pretend it's not a thing. But, yeah, I have people be like, when are you going to address this? I addressed it when it happened 7 years ago. Why do I have to address it again? And also, if you're dumb enough to look at those two side-by-sides and not go, oh, she copied it, and you actually think I just downloaded it, like, my drawing is clearly different, then I don't know that there's any fucking help for you. It's not a big deal at all. Again, I did something wrong. Do I think the internet has blown this up as some giant, like, weird, insane thing? Yes, but that's because they want to, you know? But it is common. Is redraw a common term? I actually didn't know that it was until there was, like, a bunch of artists defending me who were like, hey, this is a redraw, people do it all the time. I would just say copied. It's just a copy. If I redraw your redraw, who do I have to credit? I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, people do learn to draw by redrawing. It was also, like, the way that I shared it was like, hey, just sat down to do... Again, and I was doing it all the time. Like, I wasn't trying to get a job as an artist. I wasn't selling it. It was just a thing I did for fun. At the time, I was doing it really, really regularly, to the extent that, like, I assumed everyone in my audience... In fact, everyone in my audience did know I was redrawing. Like, I was sharing videos of me redrawing. It's just, like, when it takes on a voice of its own outside of your community is when things blow up, and I am really bad at thinking about that. I tend to think that I'm this, like, tiny little creator and nobody watches what I do, and then I go viral and I go, my bad, I didn't know. Which, yeah, definitely happens. But yeah, it is common. I did not steal anything. I just didn't go through the effort of making sure that it's really fucking good art. She forgave me. She was chill about it. In the end, she was hostile initially, and I was like very confused because it was in a different language, and I was like, is this person mad at me? I can't figure out if this person is mad at me. And then I think yes, and then when we spoke, she was chill. And I just never did it again. That's it. Seems like redrawing is a good common way to practice art. Totally. Sorry. The point I was making there was that I just used to really enjoy it. It's a very chill hobby. You just look at something and you redraw it. Like, I do the same thing with life drawings where I've like redrawn. Doesn't quite count when it's a life drawing, but I guess it's still technically the same principle. Like some flowers or a bouquet or a pot or whatever. You just look at something and you redraw it. It's a very relaxing thing to do. That's all I did. If I was selling it or claiming it was my original art, that'd be a problem. Totally, yeah, I agree. If I was trying to sell it, though, I mean, I did do commissions, but they were all video game screenshots. So like I did like years ago do commissions where I would redraw a video game screenshot, but that feels a little different because I was taking something from 3D to 2D. You know, like I redrew something from BioShock. I redrew a Master Chief one time. But it's still the same kind of principle. And I did sell those. Because the person sent me the screenshot for me to copy, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, did not try to sell it. Publicly open about selling it. Was publicly open about it being a redraw. It is what it is. They really blow it up. Have I any works that are completely your own and original? Yes. In fact, somebody has something that I drew by myself that is tattooed on them. But the truth is I'm just not very good artist in that way. Like I prefer a redraw, which I am quite good at redrawing, but I'm not great at like visualizing something. I'm not great with proportions, so I have a much more fun time redrawing. And again, not as a job, it's just a hobby, right? But yeah, I used to share those too, but I don't do this anymore. I said this in a video, but a redraw is your art. I drew it. I certainly fucking drew it. It's just so weird that they pin it as you stole this. It's not stolen. It's copied. And again, publicly said it was copied. They just ignore. It's just such a weird one. But like, I know, we know. The reason that I don't like watch any of these hate videos, like I've not watched any of them and I won't watch any of them, is partly like what I tweeted was just correct. Is like people accusing me of lying about writing at Santa Monica Studio. If you believe that, I think you have to be like so far gone that there's just no point. Like, if you truly believe I worked at a game studio for 4 years and only worked on a cookbook, 4 years, you're a lost cause and there's no point in me even talking to you. Like it's so fucking dumb. That I'm like, there's literally no point in having this conversation with these people because we can tell what kind of fucking person they are based on drawing that conclusion. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Wait a minute, we have to stop this. People who don't understand NDAs. Yeah, the people not getting the NDAs one is crazy. Like, they always use this screenshot where I was having a conversation with someone about what I do every day. Which again is just so fucking stupid. It's just so dumb. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna make a video about this because you just, God, that it's so obvious what's happening and it's so obvious why I can't say anything, but it's so clear. And I'm like, just read between the lines. It's a conversation that was not about God of War Ragnarok. It was about me like not being a game dev. People were like, oh, she probably doesn't do anything or just writes item descriptions. And I was like, no, that's not true. I do everything. Creating characters, writing plot. I'm doing the whole lot of it. All the writers actually effectively do all the same thing, except for our lead writer, who like has final say on things effectively. But there was no difference between what I was doing and what any other writer in my department was doing. And I should move this, sorry. Saying, wait a minute, we have to stop this. Yeah, so the conversation was not about God of War Ragnarok. And then it was just about me not doing anything. I don't, because they've said that to me since the beginning of time. It's either that I didn't do anything or that I'm the reason it's bad. It can't just be that I just was a writer. Like, it can't just be the obvious answer. There has to be layers to it. And then someone shared a screenshot of the credits, and then they were like, then why aren't you here? Or like, if you really do what you say you do every day, you should be here. And I was like, and yet I'm telling you what I do every day. And yet I'm telling you what I do every day. Think about it for 2 fucking seconds. I'm even like worried saying this, but like I was like, and yet it's what I do. Also, crediting in video games is really weird, to be fair. Like, I did write on that cookbook. You know what I'm not credited as writing? That cookbook. I didn't get any writing credit. I got special thanks. Video game crediting is very, very weird. But yeah, that conversation was not about God of War Ragnarok, and then he shared the credits, and I was like, and yet it's what I do every day. Think about it. But they don't think about it. And then they share a screenshot from Anthony Birch, who was gone before I got there, to be clear. Never worked with him. People are calling him a lead writer. He was not a lead writer. He was a contract writer. I don't know why they decided he was a lead writer. I even saw someone call him the creator of God of War. Nope. He was just a contract writer who was already gone before I got there. And again, I got there 2 years before that game came out. He was already gone. Didn't work there anymore. Never worked with the guy. I try not to address this one because I have a very big policy of people on the internet do not matter anywhere near as much as the people I work with. And I will stand by that. Like, the people on the internet and what they think of what I do not matter anywhere near as much as the real human beings that I work with. But Anthony's tweet is basically about somebody lying about writing on God of War Ragnarok, which I assumed initially couldn't be about me because I've never claimed to write on that game. I've never said I didn't, but I've also never said I have, which is a requirement. That is what I have to do. I'm not allowed to say I didn't do that. I'm not allowed to say I did do that. I'm just doing what is in my contract. Not allowed. So I was like, well, that can't be about me because I never claimed to work on that game. Like, if you look at anything that I publicly said about that particular game, is always, I did very little on this. I joined 2 years before it came out. You know what I mean? Like, I pulled this recently. This is my reaction. This is the first time that I spoke about it publicly. This right here. The thing... Okay, sorry. The context of what you're watching right now is the first time I spoke about God of War Ragnarok publicly, and it is the trailer reveal day. Is, you know, obviously, and I was crying. I'm so proud of everybody who worked on that, and the pride that I feel and the excitement is not on behalf of myself. I want to say that, like, I joined in November. I didn't do shit. But I know so many people who, like... First step is me saying I joined in November. I didn't do shit. The amount of time it takes to make a wolf sled and how hard that is, and oh man, the excitement and the pride is for the people that I'm now friends with, who I understand how hard they worked to do this. Being a rest of the video is me just being like, the reason I'm so proud is because of everyone I work with, part of the team, and you know, obviously I work there, but it's more, like I said, proud of everybody else, and proud to work with such fantastic people who put something truly outrageous. Look at me go. But, like, there's a lot of, like, weird stuff that I had to be careful about where, again, I'm not allowed to say I didn't, but I'm not allowed to say I did, so it's just a weird position to be in. But if you take that weirdness as lied about being a writer on a video game for... You can even look at... The pieces are right there. You can even look at my leaving video, which is now, like, full of hate comments. Just look at the pieces. Just look at them, you fucking idiots.
Madison, oh my...
Oh, wait a minute, we have to stop this. And welcome to my vlog channel. I usually don't make stuff that looks like this on this channel. My main channel has all the stuff that's shot like at my PC. This channel is usually for vloggy stuff, but it feels like an announcement, so therefore it feels like it needs... I don't know what the logic is. Look at I'm making this video to tell you all that I am leaving Sony Santa Monica Studio, where I've been employed as a writer for the last 4 years. Technically, my 5th year started on November 17th. I'm not going to hide it very well in this video that I'm not confident in this decision whatsoever. Alanah, shut up. Of incredible people. This is the best place I will stop. It is still TMI that I've been able to do that for so many years. I was going to give a thank you to about Corey, Eric, Jeremy most recently. I've spent so many hours in meetings with these people who are also my favorite team that I've ever worked with. Just what an incredible group of people. But there are so many people at Santa Monica Studio that I truly, truly love. Narrative designers, engineers, level designers, animators. There are so many names that I could list. And I mean, even the studio operations people at Santa Monica Studio are incredible.
Also true, Matthew.
Jesus. I don't know what's going to happen. Who gets that job? Yeah. Thank you to anybody who had any part in hiring me. Thank you to the team that I worked with every day. And I'm very sure that I will keep a lot of these people as friends. And I'm just...
Get to the point, Alanah.
I am very excited to see the end results of the thing that we have been working on. And as much as it's very weird to step away from something like that, like it's been in my head for the last 4 years and I just have to go, oh, it's not mine anymore. Like it's a very weird feeling, but I feel
that they're commenting cookbook on. It's brain.
like this video is months ago, obviously, right? It's before this controversy about how I'm a liar.
It's right fucking there.
We're just gonna repeat this one more time, okay? We're just gonna one more time. The end results of the thing that we have been working to see.
It's almost like if
the
you're
end
fucking
results
smart.
of the thing that we have been working on. And as much as it's very weird to step away from something like that, like it's been in my head for the last 4 years.
Wow.
And I just have to go,
One thing's
oh,
been in my head for 4 years.
Not mine anymore. Like it's a very weird feeling, but I feel lucky in a way.
It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. But I can't address anything. I can't actually address anything. So no, I'm not allowed to talk about what I did. No. We have to stop this. Yeah, I'm very NDA'd, in no small part because, and contracted because, I have a following. So there's a lot of reasons that they're very careful about things and I respect them. But, it's just, the pieces are right there. You have to be so stupid to miss them, which is part of why I don't address it. But yeah, the Anthony Birch thing, again, I assumed it wasn't about me. But I never worked with him. He was gone before I got there. And the only way his tweet could be about me is if he really doesn't understand something. Like I wish I could... I have no contact with that dude. I've never met him. I wish that I could be like, you don't know what you're talking about. But they have decided he was the creator of God of War and lead writer. He wasn't, again, was already gone. Didn't even fucking work there when I worked there 2 years before the game came out. It's so fucking stupid. Just so unbelievably stupid. But that's why I won't like make a video about it. Is I think if you believe it, you have to be trying very hard to believe it. And thus it is pointless. It is just not. You can't win with this kind of shit. Because they'll, like even this stream probably, they'll just like clip it and find the worst possible angle. They don't actually care about what's true. They just care about pushing the thing that they believe. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Wait a minute, we have to stop this. What a tune. It's insane how SMS tweeted about you and suddenly they ignored that and went back to art. Well, the SMS thing is also crazy because I feel like that's like proof of what I'm saying, right? The SMS thing is... they said this. We are confirming that Alanah was a writer at Santa Monica Studio for 4 years. She was a talented, creative, hardworking contributor to our team that we're unfortunate to have the opportunity to work with. As said, I did not ask them to do this. They called me and they were like, hey, we're so sorry. Can we say something? Because they're really nice people. And people still don't believe it. Look at this. Not that I don't believe her, but I'd love to see a confirmation from a developer versus the person that runs a social account. And then multiple devs responded and they just didn't believe them. Like we have several of them. There are numerous. Like, it's so mind-numbingly fucking stupid. Put that lady in office. Here we go. So Bruno retweeted it, who is, I love Bruno. He was one of the directors on Valhalla. He retweeted it. What date was this? January 22nd. Here. There's Bruno. We love Bruno. He retweeted it. I thanked him for retweeting it, but then I realized that it made it look like, because when I reply to this, while it will include Bruno, it made it look like I was replying to the original tweet and saying thank Bruno. Like I said thank you Bruno because I replied to his retweet. But yeah, if you would just see a reply from me that said thanks Bruno, and you would see that I'd added Bruno, but it made people think Bruno is a social media manager. He is not. Bruno is a game director. And I love him. Wonderful person. The other one is Dan Lowe, who was right. It's ridiculous that Alanah had to say anything about this. I was in meeting with her. I read stuff she wrote. She's a video game writer. Devs don't share specifics about unannounced projects because we sign NDAs. Also true. And they were just look at this. Look how fucking stupid they are. Unannounced? She doesn't work there anymore. What are you talking about? People are asking what she wrote on, not what she's currently writing on. If you don't have an answer, then run along. Quit virtue signaling. She's not going to see you. What are you... It's right there, brother. My brother in Christ. It's right there. Then there was this person who's like, what about her IMDb credits? I've never fucking looked at my IMDb credits in my life. Never updated it. Never looked at it. Huh? What? It's just unbelievably stupid. But like, yeah, so when they were like, well, I'd like to see someone from the dev team, not someone on social. To be clear, the person who reached out to ask social to do that, I'm not going to name. I don't want anyone to have to deal with any of the heat that I have to deal with, but is an executive producer at the company. Like, you know, one of the most highest ranking roles is the person who called me and was like, hey, we're gonna say something publicly. Is that cool with you? And I was like, well, maybe. Hang on. What's gonna happen here? We gotta be careful of the shit that I signed. Yeah, it's just really fucking stupid. Oh my god, why does my shit... sorry, I didn't realize it was Baldur's Gate. It's infuriating. I have this this weird issue with Restream right now where it keeps updating it to like the last thing that I streamed. It's very fucking annoying. Anyway, point being, I think if you believe any of it, you have to be trying very hard to. I'm obviously talking about it right now, but I don't feel like it's worth me making a video about or like talking about more because it just requires so much effort to believe that they just aren't worth it. So much effort to believe. These people could literally be taken back in time to what you're actually writing and working on stuff, and they'd still have some excuses for why it's not true. 100%. 100%. Isn't it just them looking to use your fame as a platform? It's two things. Yes, it's people trying to get popular off my name, which, like, consistently works. Like, half the time when I go viral and someone, like, accuses me of attention seeking, I didn't post it. Someone else did. I always find this shit weird because I'm like, I just stay in my lane, bro. I'm just doing my thing over here in my corner. I'm not even really an advocate. Most of the shit I tweet that they get really upset about, like I'm sure they're upset about what I tweeted today. I haven't read any. It's just like little jokes. Like here's today's tweet. I'm sure people are upset. This isn't advocacy. I don't even really do that. I just sort of post my little stupid joke and then I fuck off. But yeah, it's definitely very easy to get a bunch of views using my name, obviously, so that's part of it. The second part, which I always try not to jump to, but they're being so blatant on this one, is, you guessed it, sexism. It is literally like, the comments there are full of, she fucked someone to get that job. I've never slept with anyone who works in the games industry in any capacity, I guess outside of Rahul. You're hearing it here first, I have slept with Rahul Kohli. I liked it. You know what? I'd do it again. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'm sorry, Rahul. I'm telling people. I'd do it. Might do it tonight. Just you fucking wait and see. Over and over again. But otherwise, I've never slept with anybody who works in the games industry. So like you can't, you know, people will go, watch her cry harassment. Is this harassment? Yeah. Do I care about it? No. Like, it's not like I'm, like, feeling harassed, you know? Is it by definition? Probably yes. Do I care about that? No, it's fine. Go off. I'm too busy making stuff, and that is how I genuinely feel about it. But yeah, not everybody is being sexist. Some people just are dumb. Some people are being sexist, and the point is, like, there are gloves off admitting it. You know what I mean? They are gloves off being like, women shouldn't be in video games. Like, you can't hide it. It's so weird that we kind of dance around this shit. Like, why are we like, well, that's not sex. That's just nope. Sometimes it is just sexism. You know what I mean? Sometimes it fucking is. Which is also fine. I've been dealing with this shit my whole career. I don't really care. But I do think if you believe it, it's like, it's such a weird thing about being a public figure in any way. I've also said this a million times, is you just have to, like, let people lie about you, and you just go, okay, there's nothing you can do. The Black Myth Wukong dev thing, I just said what I saw. And if it hadn't been hostile, like, so I said what I saw and then disappeared from the internet because my mom was visiting. So I said it on a stream that had, I don't know, 600 viewers. And then I, even on that stream, was like, I'm not going to be on the internet because my mom's coming in tomorrow and I'm very excited about it. And so I disappeared for 2 weeks while my mom was in town. Didn't even really know what was happening. Came back and they're just calling me a liar. Like, if it didn't happen that way, I might have been like, it's possible I made a mistake. Did I lie? Absolutely not. But there's like, once it's that far gone, there's nothing you can do. Like, if they've made up their mind and they painted a brush and it's an agenda, you're like, okay, if you say so. Do I think I made a mistake? Still no. Still no. Multiple people said they saw it. It wasn't only me. And it lines up really just suspiciously perfectly with the director coming out, which is not the director that I saw crying for the record, but the director the next day saying how fucking disappointed they were, that they felt like they wasted their time. Like, that's clearly people who are upset. Like, how convenient for me that it lined up perfectly with him being like, yeah, we were really upset. Like, what a weird coincidence. But it's totally possible I made a mistake. Because there was someone who was sitting with them, which is an IGN journalist. Interesting, they pick and choose when they hate those. Who said that they didn't see that. And be like, okay, it's totally possible they were yawning. Or something like that. But once they've gone, you're a fucking liar, you cunt whore, and you've done this because you hate this game that I shilled so hard. Like, all of my reaction videos about this game is so positive. I was calling it my most anticipated game of the year. Like, I basically advertised this game. Game I was so fucking happy about. I defended them against the claims. I did say they said some weird edgelord shit, and they did. They did, but I did say I didn't think it was sexist, so I technically defended them against sexism. That stream is still up, but it doesn't matter because they've decided. And once they decide, there's just nothing you can do. You just, okay. Like, it's just been decided. Do I get stressed after fighting with these people online? No, because I don't do it very often. And the fighting is very one way. Like, I usually don't really engage with them. I really feel like this would be cleared up if an NDA allowed you to say what you didn't work on, or after it's released, what parts of it you did work on. That's cute. You really think so? That's so cute. But there's nothing I can say right now. What are you doing? Oh, thank you. Yeah, no. Even when my name is in the credits as a writer of something, which, you know, may or may not happen, they'll still say I didn't do anything. Like, you are giving them way too much credit. But right now, I'm literally not allowed to say what I did or did not do. I'm not allowed. Would you say you've toughened up as a result of this? I don't think I ever really cared about it very much. It's obviously happened my whole career. And it's never stopped me from doing anything, so I don't care too much. It would at least help some people. If the fucking studio and the people I worked with coming forward and saying, yeah, no, she was a video game writer, didn't work, no, it's not going to help. It's not going to do anything. It doesn't matter at all. But yeah, they'll never be happy. That's totally true. It'll either be that, you can see the headlines now. When I am in credits for thing, step away from that. It'll either be they added her name in to appease the mob, or she made them do it, or she didn't really do anything, or she's the one who did all the things I don't like. There's just there's no winning. That's all it is. Nothing you can do about it. And it is very stupid. Surprise, surprise. What the hell can I do? They said you're a consultant. Is that true? Yeah, I did some accessibility work on God of War Ragnarok, and as I have publicly said repeatedly, that's the only thing I'm allowed to say publicly. And I said that over and over again. That's the thing I'm allowed to say publicly. I did do that. I'm very proud of it. Surprise, surprise. What the hell do I do? Surely it could be hard to add things to your resume when working in video gaming if they are very secret about things. Not an issue I have. Not an issue I particularly have. Because, like, the games industry is so... Everyone knows each other because there are so many fucking layoffs and also just, like, things upsize and downsize all the time that everybody knows everybody. So, like, the people on the inside, if I were to submit a resume somewhere, which I'm not doing, in any case, I'm a freelancer now, I'm not submitting resumes places, know what you've done. They know what the games are and what you've done. And they know it's not a problem. Like, it's just not it's a non-issue. For me specifically, it's not a problem that I have. Like, I yesterday got asked to write on a AAA game series that, holy shit, they didn't ask for my resume because they know what I've worked on. And I will be doing it, only I asked them if I'm allowed to work on Australian time because I'm next going home later this month. So I will totally do it if I'm allowed to go home. But yeah, very cool. Surprise, surprise. Products under NDA is still a very valid addition on a resume. Again, you could just go ask anyone I worked with. You know? From game dev myself and not being to say what I did exactly on a game that wasn't released is a bit annoying, but I work in AA/indie. Well, part of it is that you tend to assume if you're in an interview process that it does. The NDA goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like, you sign an NDA when you interview somewhere. They kind of don't really ask. Like, I did interview to be a writer on Grand Theft Auto, and I ended up declining because they wanted me in office Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, which is fucking crazy. That was a weird one. When I declined, I like walked downstairs to Rahul and I was like, I said no. I can't believe I said no. But I had to obviously sign a bunch of NDAs to even do that, and they weren't really asking me like what exact project. They were asking what I was doing every day and how I like working with teams and like how I approach certain things. You get an idea of someone's experience from asking them questions. They don't need to be like, what exact project did you do this on? That's not really a thing humans do. But yeah. Better question is, why is the games industry so secretive? I think gamers contribute to that. Like a part-time gig? No, it would be contract freelance for the AAA game that reached out yesterday. But it would be really fucking cool. You have to generalize how you describe the writing you do? Yeah. They will have seen, like, when you apply to write on anything, or even when someone asks you to, you submit writing. So they can read a bunch of shit that you wrote. Be like, cool, you can write. When I worked at SMS, I submitted a scene that I wrote for a game that's not out that I'm actually assuming has been cancelled. I submitted a short story that I wrote, which was for another indie game, which isn't out, has not been cancelled, but I have spoken about that game on Twitter. If anyone wants to go and dig through it, you could be like, hey, there's a tweet before I even worked at SMS where I was like, hey, I'm writing on this game. I don't even remember what it's called. I submitted that. I submitted 2 scenes from a screenplay that I had written. I basically submitted a bunch of stuff. So like they'll see your writing because you submit the writing. And then you just talk about how you approach things and how you work. Like when you work at a company, like say I work at McDonald's and then I go apply to another company, they're not like, what specifically did you do? Prove it. You know, that's a weird thing to do. Doesn't really apply that way. Oh, I wish the games industry was more like the movie industry, but it doesn't. There's a disconnect that I've spoken about numerous times, which is it's really tough because gamers will take things as gospel. So like you say, hey, we're doing like this happened to Cyberpunk for sure. They were saying, hey, we're gonna have this, and then No Man's Sky as well. Actually, the game comes out and it doesn't have that thing. In a lot of cases, they're not lying. It's just a dev who's excited to talk to you about the thing that they're working on, and then they end up being wrong because things get cut so much. Things just get cut all the fucking time. So it's tough to say anything at all because things can shift and move, and then like it can seem like misleading your audience. Scope creep do be real. It's a really, really hard thing to do. So it's I don't really know the solution to that. I do wish there was more transparency, or like that we could be more like the film industry in that regard, but there are so many layers as to why it doesn't work that way. Surprise, surprise, Nigerian prince scam. Oh! What the hell do I do? Ever thought of writing nonfiction for public release? No. Technically, I write nonfiction on my YouTube. Everything I put on YouTube is written, so... Will I go back to big tech? I don't think I work in big tech. I don't think I've ever worked in big tech. I don't feel like I've ever worked in big tech. I don't think that's a thing that I have done before. Do I ever plan on publisher writing ideas separately in book form, for example? Am I writing ideas? Writing or ideas separately? I've been writing a book that I might publish. Generally, I don't care about publishing. I was going to say publicationing. But I mean, hey, here's something I wrote recently. If you haven't already seen it, I wrote and directed this. Nigerian prince scam. Oh. And nobody else even touched the script. This is all me. If you want to see an example of my writing. Yeah, here's the thing I wrote. But no, I'm in a tremendous position of privilege where, like, for working on things, people know who I am and what I do. You also know that you can't exist in an industry like AAA and lie about what you do every day publicly on the internet. That it just wouldn't work. Like, I would have been publicly canceled and pushed out. You can't do that. So no one is assuming that that's true because some like nobody YouTuber said it was. You know what I mean? No one is like, well, this dude who's not in the games industry and never worked with you said that you were lying about working there. It you know? It just doesn't really work that way. And if it does happen, you'll get caught out from the inside. Like that, it's a very difficult thing to do. You can see how being tied to a team so heavily can be an issue if the team was not Nobel Prize winning gamers, you know? They have concepts of a source. How is the new job in the new studio going? The studio game Layers Deep. Yeah, it's Layers Deep. We're entirely remote. I have to chat with them this week actually because I've written so much, but I need to present it to them. And my schedule was a real shit show in January for that. But there's another indie game that I just announced that I'm writing on. That is called... Where is it? What the hell do I do? Surprise, surprise, it ended up being a white man. Oh. This right here. The studio... Whoa, thank you, Anonymous, for the $25 donation. The studio is called Smash Attack. And the game is called Null Star Solace. This is my little joined it post. This game I think is very, very cool. It's like, you know, it's kind of Celeste-y. Yeah, let me show you. And it's a fun one to write on because I'm trying to get gameplay. Here you go. Oops, sorry. I'm way off there. It's funny that I'm doing this twice actually. Layers Deep, I am narrative director on that game, and I have gone much harder on narrative directing, which is such a shitty term in the industry. It means so many different things to so many people. than I have specifically writing. This one I am actually like writing big words for, but Layers Deep, ideally I convey as much story as possible with that game with as few words as possible. I would consider that to be a success. And it's like, am I writing this big old narrative? Yes. Have I written several, words? Yes. But ideally, you don't actually see them, which is interesting. I'm doing that kind of with two of them. They're both very gameplay heavy games, but that's the kind of storytelling I like anyway. So, yeah. Surprise, surprise. What the hell did I do? At what point do you think it's okay to call myself a game designer? Can I do it before I release a game? Do it whenever you want, bro. Call yourself whatever you want. The writers are on the design team at Sony Santa Monica Studio, and I think for pretty good reason. A lot of writing at that particular studio is also game design because you are right there in the ideation process. So I was on the design team at SMS. Every writer is. That is a thing. Is Layers Deep's art style like Don't Starve? It's supposed to be, I mean, I guess it is kind of, but it's also like Cuphead. And they're really inspired by Over the Garden Wall. You're writing lore then? For Layers Deep, I'm writing everything, like the story. So like what you experience as you play. I'm just not doing any art or programming. But yeah, we need to schedule to meet with them. Anyway, should we actually catch up on this stuff at this point? Do I have any tips or tricks to start writing? Read. Highly recommend reading. And writing a lot. It's where you get started. I did go to school to study writing, but yeah. Amy Place said you inspired me a lot, Alanah. Thank you. I often channel my inner Alanah when faced with people who try and make me feel like I'm less of a lawyer because I'm female or that I got to where I am because of something other than my hard work. My Alanah approach is a solid nope. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you. That is a huge compliment. That is a huge, huge compliment. I think the reason that I am the way that I am with that kind of stuff is I have parents who love me. Genuinely, I think it does wonders for confidence. My parents are so supportive, and I feel like it's always made me like, no, I can do it. So to make a narrative and games as interactive as possible without taking away cutscenes, essentially. That's what I really care about, yeah. Is like, have a fulfilling story, but as few cutscenes as possible, or deliver the story through gameplay wherever possible. Do writers typically write environmental story elements, or do level designers get them approved by the writer? Writers do all of that, yeah. That said, like, game dev is, like there was some fun stuff at SMS where, like, I would write a level, and then someone would put something in it, like an artist that I didn't expect, and I'd be like, whoa, that's cool! And then I would, like, add something to the writing because I didn't know that would even be there. So, like, you kind of inspire each other, which is very cool. Am I reading any good books lately? I'm working on a book called Neuromancer. I'm currently reading The Immortalists. That's what I've just started. Can I put Redditor on my resume? I guess. Is there a North Star when you are thinking about a game that delivers story through actual gameplay? No. I don't know. I don't know. No? There are many games that I think are very good at that, but there's no, like, exactly this. It has to sort of be more nuanced than that, you know what I mean? Thank you, Zach the Creator. In terms of design work, did you work with the design team? I was on the design team. All writers at Santa Monica Studio are on the design team. Writing is considered part of game design there, so yeah. Anyway, should we get to the news? Sorry for just talking about myself there. Apologize for that. It's obviously going to keep coming up. You know, these people really are trying to cancel me. It's not going to change my life in any significant way. You are going to keep seeing it though. But I don't want to talk about it all the time. It is truly a waste of my time to talk about. You can do it one time. But it's just very boring, is the truth. Grift is going to grift. They don't want the truth. They want the clout, the attention. It is what it is. They can't cancel me. They're certainly trying. Even when I was on my own channel recently, saw a headline that was like, Alanah Pearce has been cancelled. In what way? Yesterday I got asked to write on a AAA game that I would love to write on. A week and a half ago I got asked to be a creative producer on a movie. Like, in what way have I been cancelled other than, oh no, these dudes who always wanted to hate me continue to hate me? You know? And if there were like so many of them being so hostile that I couldn't make YouTube content anymore, it would have so little impact on my life in the grand scheme of things. But also I don't read the comments. I don't give a shit. We don't need to talk about it again. It'll keep happening. They will keep coming for me. It will not stop, and I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm never going to watch any of these videos. I also recommend you don't watch them. They are rage bait liars, like they know they are. That's all. Prince scam. What does a producer do on a movie? Don't they mainly organize who is going to do what on a movie? Sorry, I was asked to be a creative producer, which basically means I have a bunch of creative input. So, helping with tone and scenes and like, there are some changes I want to make to the script, and there are some suggestions that I have for certain parts of directing. So it's a creative producer and a producer are two different things. Let's turn to something positive. American politics. Exactly. Jeff, can we give Viz117 a game code for that one? I'm sorry if I missed your comments, Trevor Warrior. Side note, they keep adding stuff to No Man's Sky. Oh, you meant on YouTube. Yeah, no, I don't read your comments on YouTube. I'm sorry. Trolls are just going to be excited for the engagement. Yeah. Yeah. The night that I was engaging with them was because I was waiting for these giant gameplay files to download, but I know that I always make it so much bigger when I give them any attention. Like, every time. They're like so happy I've responded, and then they go, she said something, and it like becomes this huge thing, and I'm always like, so I just gotta leave y'all to it, you know? I just gotta leave y'all to it. Surprise, surprise, Prince scam. Oh, why are there so many Alanah is a pathological liar videos on YouTube? We have just discussed that on this stream, and the answer is ultimately because it makes them money. But it is, of course, not true. What the hell do I do? How many failed interviews have you experienced? And what was your major method to apply for a position, solicited or unsolicited, especially in the beginning of your career? Oh my god, I've had so many failed interviews. You know, I applied for a job at IGN 7 times before I got an interview. My major method to apply for a position. There isn't really a method. I just feel like I just do it the same way everyone else does. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer to that. If your interviews aren't working, have people read over your stuff for sure. Okay. Elon Musk's team now has access to the Treasury's payment system. This news, by the way, is from the 1st. There's like a whole month of shit that I missed. Oh my god. I'm scrolling through all of the news things that my mods have sent me. Are there any bangers we should catch up on? I know you say it is like a thing people are talking about. This one gets me. Have we had any progress on this particular thing? Surely this will get rejected, right? Like, this isn't gonna happen. Right? Huh? Insane. It would never get the votes? I don't know, dude. Like, at this point, like, Elon's just going through government doing whatever he wants, even though he technically isn't elected. Well, not even technically. He literally isn't an elected official and has no permission to do so. So, like, what's to stop them? That's how dictatorships start? Not even start. Dictatorship. Getting an amendment passed takes 2/3 of the state legislature to confirm, I believe. Does that mean Obama can be president again? I think there was a term in there that like specifically was like, but not Obama. The whole thing is illegal? I know. It's crazy. Like, it's very wild to watch. And again, I apologize the last stream. I'm going to do it again. I'm sorry. I said I didn't think Project 2025 was going to be a real thing. I said, nope. He said he didn't. He said he didn't commend it. He said, like, he said he didn't like it. He never publicly supported it. I was like, he didn't say that he agreed with any of this crazy shit. And I really gave him the benefit of the doubt. And I was wrong, and I apologize for that. And that is literally how Nazi Germany happened, for the record. Is people being like, yeah, but he's not really going to do all that stuff about the Jews. Like, it's going to be about my small business getting more money. It's not really going to be about the Jews. So, I apologize, I was wrong. Okay, I don't even know where to start. There's so much fucking news. What's this? Surprise, ended up being a white man. Oh! What the hell did I do? Federal judge temporarily blocks Trump's executive order redefining birthright citizenship. This one is fucking crazy. Don't have plans to be clear. But the birthright citizenship thing means that if Rahul and I were to have a child, because I'm foreign and on a green card and he's foreign and on a visa, they would be a citizen of nothing. A citizen of nowhere. Federal judge on Thursday temporarily blocked President Donald Trump's executive order denying U.S. citizenship to the children of parents living in the country illegally, calling it blatantly unconstitutional during the first hearing in a multi-state effort challenging, well, if it's only illegally, then maybe that doesn't apply to Rahul and I. But the wording that I saw, I was like, does that mean that if I have a kid because I'm not a citizen here, that they can't be a citizen here? Not that I'm intending to do that, again, to be clear. Australia or the UK would give them citizenship, but not inherently, if they're not born there. We would have to apply. Would we be approved? Yes. But it's just a weird, like, what are they when they're born? What am I drinking? Thank you so much for asking. I'm drinking out of my Holden mug. I've spoken about this stuff before. It's called Protein 2.0. It's basically like a sports drink, but it has 20, I'm pretty sure, grams of protein in it. So if I'm low on protein in a day, I will drink one of these. More protein. Done in progress with sources. Oh, thank you, Scott. I was going to try and go through all the stuff you guys have sent me, but it's so much. Like, I was like, I can do it. I can't do it. There's too much shit. Trump plays federal... Trump campaign against diversity urges government employees to turn informer. There's also... I really didn't know this about DEI. I really didn't know this. People really, like, genuinely think DEI means that the best person doesn't get hired for the job. Like, they're really out here believing that. And I was like, is this a Fox News thing? It exists. We all know this, right? DEI exists as a policy. Specifically because equal candidates, like people who have the exact same level of experience, repeatedly, or even if they have more, repeatedly, the white person was being chosen over, potentially, say, a black person who has more experience. That's why it started to exist in the first place. And I was like, y'all just think it means hire the black guy. That's not what it means, nor how it functions whatsoever. Like, the purpose of it is to actually make sure that people are not disadvantaged because of their race or gender. I really didn't know that they thought that. I really was like, what? No. No, absolutely not. They just say DEI instead of overtly racist shit now. I will say, this is a weird sentence that I'm about to say. But one thing that I am happy about, again, I know this is a weird thing to say I'm happy about, is a lot of the people who are blaming woke or DEI, especially the gamers, are at least now just being honest. Like, at least we've kind of gotten to a point where they're like, it has a black guy in it, I don't want to play it. Like, at least they're finally admitting it's literally just racism. Like, I feel like they've stopped trying to hide that, because it sometimes made the conversation hard. Because like they'd be like, well, not everybody who cares about this is a racist. And now you're literally seeing people word for word go, no, I'm a racist. And I'm like, well, at least it makes it a little bit easier, you know? At least we don't have to cut through some of that. At least we can have the conversation a little more honestly because you're going, no, I won't play it because there's a female lead. Like, all right. Appreciate that you're just right on there admitting it now. That's helpful, I guess. Because previously there was really this thing where they used to be all, you can't just call everybody who disagrees with you racist or sexist. And you'd be like, I'm not. I'm calling people who are racist or sexist though. And they previously be like, well, what did they do that was racist or sexist? And now they're like, no, I'm a racist. Like I've seen literally word for word, no, I am racist. You're like, okay, well, at least you're being fucking honest now. Trump administration on Wednesday, this is again January 22nd, so much has fucking happened, urged government employees to inform on each other and their departments in order to root out any attempts to hide diversity programs. The latest escalation in US President Donald Trump's campaign against diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's such a crazy thing to say you're against. Say the phrase, I am against diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's such I have that with liberal. Like, maybe I'm just so woke that I can't see it. It's in the word liberal. I'll pull up the definition of liberal. It's a crazy thing to be like, I'm not a liberal. It's so weird. Like, it's so fucking wild. The definition of liberal. Willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own. So whenever I see someone like proudly or staunchly go, ugh, you fucking liberal, I'm not a liberal. The definition of that word, willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own. It's a crazy thing to want to be against. The second point is relating to or denoting a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. Again, crazy thing to say you're against. Individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. Even the word progressive, where you're proud to be against progress, bro? Crazy. I think the opposite of DEI is looking at merit instead of ethnic, sex, etc. I don't know what you mean by that. Could you watch JB Pearce's speech at Northwestern University? I think it would be a good thing to react to. If you throw it on the Reddit, I mean, I'm sure I just gotta catch up on shit, man. There's so much to catch up on. Anyway, but we are back to streaming now, and I'm not going anywhere. And my schedule should be easier now. I'm not doing min-max until, well, no, I'm only here for 2 weeks. People don't go off on political definitions, easy to trigger words to them. Yeah, I saw someone recently, this is obviously very anecdotal, it's just like on TikTok, share that they spoke to their grandma about all of this. Maybe it was on Threads, I don't remember. They spoke to their grandma about all of this like liberal ideologies, but they didn't use any of the trigger words. And their grandma was like, yeah, I agree with all of that stuff. No, I agree with all of this. And then once they used the word liberal, she was like, fuck liberals! Even though she had actually agreed with... They have so many, like, ingrained trigger words that I think they get from Fox News, where it's like, you use the word and they go, bah! Even if they actually agree with the principles. Like, it's just so wild to see people so worked up on shit they don't even understand because they've been told a word is bad, you know what I mean? It is Pavlov, yeah, totally. They just get so mad. Kind of like back when they used commie. Yeah, the communism stuff is also crazy because it's like, I've said this before. People will be like, fuck communism, it's always evil. Us people in Cuba, it's not communism, that's dictatorship. Communism has never actually existed. The problem with communism is it can't exist. The actual, like, Marxist communism can't exist. It's functionally impossible because people are too shit. Someone will always take advantage of it and it will become a dictatorship. Anyway, Trump also issued a series of executive orders to dismantle DEI programs on his first day in office Monday, making complete reversal to his predecessor, Democrat Joe Biden, who prioritized DEI programs and initiatives across federal government. DEI programs attempt to promote opportunities for women, ethnic minorities, LGBTQ people, and traditionally underrepresented groups. which again is specifically there because otherwise they are statistically like vastly underrepresented, right? Like we all know that, right? Like it is in an attempt to correct a problem. It's not to give people who are unqualified. Like we were hiring for a writer at SMS and we had a bunch of interviews and we interviewed numerous women and people of color and ended up hiring a white dude. And the DEI initiative there would be to try to interview a diverse pool of candidates. The white dude was the best for the job, so he got the job. Straight up. It's just that we made effort to try to interview a diverse group of people. But the person that everybody liked and who was the best for the job was a white dude, so the white dude got the job. And he's great. Really liked working with him. There was also, this is crazy, in that particular hiring round, obviously I was in hiring for a bunch of stuff at SMS, and I have no hand in which candidates get spoken to and which don't, but white dude who got hired, he was the one that I think I picked as well. There was a guy, I was just thinking about this today while I was walking Banjo, there was a guy who we interviewed who took credit for writing Bloodborne. I can't not think about this. And I remember being like, what do you mean? Because the other person who was mostly in interviews with me did not have any video game writing background. They came from TV, which is like actually pretty common. So like I doubt they even would have like been very familiar with Bloodborne or Miyazaki or any of that. And I was like, what do you mean you wrote on Bloodborne? What did you write? And I directly asked him in the interview. And this was a white dude. And he gave me a vague answer. And then I was like, well, doesn't Miyazaki write those in tandem with Frog Nation, who are the localizing team, who also write like significant portions of their games? And he was like, I did some item descriptions. And I was like, that's a crazy thing to walk in to a job interview and say. Did you think that nobody would question if you worked on Bloodborne? My brother. Like, what? Crazy. Wild. We all know Lance McDonald wrote Bloodborne. For real. Big fan of Lance. Civil rights advocates have argued such programs are necessary to address long-standing inequities and structural racism. Yep. It's not an argument. That's literally just what it is. That's what the purpose of it is. Trump and his supporters say DEI programs end up unfairly discriminating against other Americans and weaken the importance of candidates' merits in job hiring or promotion. I actually appreciate the way this is written. This is, that is a very neutral way to write those two sentences. Here's what this side thinks, and here's what this side thinks. In a new message distributed on Wednesday, government employees were warned that they would face adverse consequences if they failed to promptly report any hidden DEI programs. Ooh, hidden DEI cabal. We have all these secret programs. Look at us go. Look at them all. Conservatives suddenly were very pro-DEI when all the Super Bowl dances were, though. Were they? Like, I've seen, you're not the first person in chat to say that. Were they like, what about DEI here? That's crazy. I saw someone the other day. There are issues with this point, but I thought it was very funny. He was having a debate with Ben Shapiro. And he was like, isn't the Electoral College DEI? Like, isn't the Electoral College this thing that you love and is like the only reason that vast majority of Republicans have even become presidents? Like, it's like everybody except Trump most recently. Isn't the whole point of it to create equity from states that have less of a voice? Which I thought was funny. Like, I like laughed out loud at that comparison. Yeah, exactly. Electoral College is DEI for small states. Like, it kind of is. And I was like, damn, that's really funny. Trump is a DEI hire? I mean, technically he was the first time, yeah. He was a DEI hire in that he got hired by the Electoral College. Yes, it was a 20v1 video. I just followed the guy who was doing that debate on Instagram. I don't know what his name is, but I like everything I've seen of him so far. DEI is also people who get disabled access to buildings too. Yeah, we're bringing back the Accessibility Awards this year. We didn't do it one of the years because God of War Ragnarok would have swept, and obviously I worked on that game, and obviously I worked specifically on accessibility. And then we didn't do last year because it was one of the worst years of my life. and Steve had some stuff going on as well. We're bringing it back this year. Steve and I had a meeting about it last week. And I was like, oh, do you think that there's going to be this huge backlash because, like, they've decided that, like, advocating for disabilities is woke? Like, surely that's a thing that'll happen now. There's been no backlash to that show any of the other times that I've done it, but I'm like, oh, surely they'll also be mad. Soon or end of year? Yeah, hopefully soon. But since Steve is no longer Able Gamers, we need to update some stuff and change some stuff, but, yeah, well, it'll be... I think that in my head I have May, but that's not locked in whatsoever, so... Yeah. There was some streamer recently saying he wanted woke journalists to suffer related to all this recent stuff, but can't remember who. Too many grifters to keep count. There are a lot of fucking grifters. That is certainly a thing. Again, I apologize for even speaking about them on this stream, but really, you just gotta ignore them, y'all. You just gotta fucking ignore them. No, we need more awards for it. Yeah, I mean, the purpose of the accessibility awards is not only to, like, let more people know about video game accessibility, which my pitch is always, it's actually good for you. It's far broader than you think it is. It helps you as well to have games be more customizable for a variety of situations. It's not just for people who, you know, are missing a hand. Like, it's not just that. It is much, much, much broader. But also to encourage more studios to do it. If you give them a shiny award, maybe they'll do more of it. Which benefits everyone. But yeah, I have not previously, and yeah, that was why I created it. There's since been another one that popped up, but obviously more the merrier. Happy to have as many people want to do accessibility awards as possible. Honored to have inspired somebody else to have created one. But yeah, we're bringing it back this year. But yeah, I was like, oh, there might be like backlash to this now, because I guess now caring about disabled people is woke? Somehow? We're aware of efforts by some in government to disguise these programs by using coded or imprecise language. Really? It's not immediately clear what evidence the administration have of any efforts to conceal diversity programs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Concealed diversity programs? Is that happening? What the hell do I do? DEI isn't infallible. It's only a way to lessen the symptoms of the underlying problem, but the problem will never be solved in this system. Completely agree, Joel. Completely agree. The older I get, the more I appreciate accessibility features. Well, that's part of it, is like part of why I advocate for accessibility and like created the awards in the first place, is because it's gonna hit you. Like, you are gonna get like that. The gaming population is aging outside of Roblox. The core gaming population is aging. You are going to start having some problem that pops up that makes it more difficult for you to play a video game. Accessibility makes it so that doesn't happen for you, like, so that you can play them forever. Like, you as an able-bodied person are also being advocated for when we talk about accessibility. But yeah, you know, we're going to do it regardless, obviously. There'll be no adverse consequences for timely posting of this information. However, failure to report the information within 10 days may result... What are they expecting? Strange. Maybe there is some secret DEI cabal that I don't know about. The fake tan. Really. I wonder what he looks like without it. I wonder what he looks like without it. Let's see if we can find that. Trump without fake tan. Surprise, surprise. And the fake hair, right? Like, that's almost definitely fake hair, right? Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, that tracks. There's obviously a Photoshop. But that tracks. Think it's hair plugs? I don't think it's hair plugs. It flew off? Yeah, that's what I thought I remembered that. Thank you, Jill Con. Yeah, I also really enjoyed the last Play Watch Listen episode. We asked Zalavia if he can be on every episode where they release a new game, so he'll be on, you know, a bunch more times. I apologize if this sounds extreme, but this dark timeline is the reason why I've joined other LGBTQ people to arm up to protect my physical well-being and that of my family. I had a thing where I was like, should I reach out to the trans people I know and ask if they're okay? It feels really cheesy, though. To be like, hey, you alright? Because the trans people I know are also fucking cool. That, like, I feel like they'd be like, I'm fine, bitch! And I'm like, oh. Like, I don't want to be cheesy, you know? Anyway, yeah, that tracks. That tracks. I hate the fake tan. I really hate it. Charlotte rocks. Again, very cool. I feel like she'd be like, yeah, I'm fine, loser, you know? And I'm like, oh. But I do think about it. Maybe I should. Long-standing resentments among white men were resurfacing and helped enable Trump's political comeback despite his felony convictions and the civil rights judgments against him for fraud and sexual abuse. Again, this is a thing that is happening and does need resolve. Just repeatedly telling white men that they're bad is not a solution. It's such a tough one though, because like I raise money for Movember I raise money for men's health. People scream about it all the time. Where's the support for men? And they really do not come to support. Like I have trouble raising money in November. Probably not more than like a vast majority of other causes, really. But like considering how outspoken people are about it, you'd think that you would get a ton of support, but they don't really donate. I kind of feel like they maybe like. Do they really care? I don't know. I don't know what the solution to this is. I do think it is definitely an issue though. I don't know how we fix it though. This country is fundamentally founded on racist principles. It always has been and it continues to be. There is no way in the world that America was going to allow another black person to succeed. Obama just totally defied the odds. The U.S. Representatives Hank Johnson, a Democrat from Georgia, accused Trump of turning back the clock and dismantling decades of progress made by black people. Noreen Farrell, Executive Director of Equal Rights Advocates, ERA, a nonprofit group promoting gender equality, said Trump's executive orders would also impede American competitiveness. The message is clear. The administration is willing to sacrifice both civil rights and economic growth to advance an extremist agenda. Like how May is Military Month, all the conservatives cry about Pride Month, but no Military Appreciation Month. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I did a women's month stream at IGN. People were like, bet you won't do one for fucking men's month. And then I do it every November, every single year. But they don't support it. It's very strange. Very strange. I would like to be clear, it's not performative. I do care about men. I care about men's health. I feel unbelievably lucky that I have had 2 white dads, you know? I have my biological dad and my stepdad, both of whom are wonderful men who deal with emotional problems. I care about you. I genuinely do. And people like kind of act like it's made up whenever I say that, you know? Both my dads are fucking lovely. They're incredible humans. I'm very glad to have them. You know? I feel like you have way more male friends than most women I know. I do have a shit ton of male friends, yes. All of whom I support and are willing to speak to me emotionally. I'm at that point with many of my male friends where they would call me crying or whatever and I would never judge them. I really do care. I don't really talk about this publicly. I think I only have once and I'm not going to detail it, but my biological dad, part of why my parents divorced and I ended up with a stepdad, has a mental health diagnosis that has like caused him, you know, various issues throughout his life. And I think because of that, I tend to like extra care, sometimes to my own detriment, about men going through hardship. It's not made up. I really do care. I do care about male suicide rates. I do care about a current sense of helplessness that seems to be coming from the youth in America who then like don't know where they belong and go straight to the right. Obviously some of these people are just fucking assholes. They harass me all day, every day, right? Like that, we can't deny that is a thing that happens. Some of them are fucking assholes, but like not pretending to care. The only thing is I don't know what the solution is. I keep being like, I think I just need to keep talking and making people feel welcome. And you'll never see me say fuck all white men. It's not a stance I have or will ever say. And obviously I'm not going to be like more sympathetic to the white man than I am to any other man on the planet, because even if some of them seem to want that, that's not how that works. But I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what it is. Pretty much the male loneliness crowd right now. It's a huge thing, dude. It's I think like part of the problem is, especially if you have a dad who, we've had streams where I've spoken about this, is like toxic masculinity 101 and tells you here's the rules to be a man, and if you're not this, you're not a fucking man, you little pussy. Which is a thing. They are telling these boys that they have to like grow up and be a provider, and women are so uniquely independent now that we don't need a provider. I don't need a man in my life. I love men. I love the man in my life. I don't need one. And I wonder if that causes a disconnect where they feel lost. They don't know what to do. They don't know what their value is. Because if you're told from when you're a young boy that your value is to provide for a family, and then that is not needed really at all anymore, I can see that causing a disconnect. Slight solution is having more mental health support in schools. Yeah, I think Australia was actually pretty good about that. Except Banjo, right? Banjo is a black man. I have a black son. And he does get black dog discrimination, to be clear. Like, there is a thing where people adopt black dogs less and also are more afraid of them. People sometimes cross the road when they see my son, so I know exactly how it feels. That's a joke. I'm being sarcastic. That's a joke. That's a joke. Just to be clear. As a white man, my opinion is most of the people screaming about men's issues are in fact just assholes who want an excuse to be assholes and take things away from other people. I don't disagree, but that is still a problem. Like, the rage that they have within them that, like, causes them to lash out in this way is an issue. It's part of why we have school shootings that are so often perpetrated by white men. It is a thing. And I don't know what the solution is. Black cats get adopted less? Yeah, I think black animals in general get adopted less. It sucks. Your love for men is so clear by allowing Rahul to live with you just to paint your minis. Very liberal of you. That pretty much is all he does. I work all day every day and he fucking sits on his ass and then goes off to act occasionally. Ridiculous. As a representative of the blacks, we accept Banjo wholeheartedly. That's my son. As long as you don't shave him, which when you do, he's so white, he's blue. He's black. I get it. I have a black son. To create loving men, we must love males. Loving maleness is different from praising and rewarding males for living up to sexist-defined notions of male identity. Caring about men for what they can do for us is not the same as loving males for simply being. I feel that. That's a great quote from Bell Hooks, apparently, in The Will to Change. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do about any of this. What do I do? I'm a black dude and have only had black dogs. She's joking, but facts. Perceived aggression is a thing. Even my lab was treated like he had 6 felonies and 3 DUIs. It genuinely is a thing. People will cross the street when they see Banjo coming, even though if like it was a golden retriever, they would not behave the same way whatsoever. It's sad because the men's rights movement had roots in rights for divorced dads getting better treatment in custody judgments. It got overtaken by total assholes. That movement got fucked. Yeah, again, it's not a thing we shouldn't talk about. There are issues here. And I reject the hypothesis that is presented by people who make the claim of, fuck them, they're just fucking entitled. Are some of them entitled? Absolutely yes. But yelling that is clearly not the solution. They just go straight into the hands of people like Andrew Tate or Sneeko or whoever else and get like very quickly radicalized. And it never makes them happy either. They're just angry little shitbags. It never like makes them feel fulfilled or treat their partners better. Like it just makes them fucking mad. It's not a solution. I'll be real on it. It's because he's big. He's no bigger than a golden retriever. Surprise, surprise, it ended up being a white man. Oh, toxic masculinity is 100% at the heart of this. It's why they feel so lost and angry. It's why they don't show support to each other. I don't disagree with that. I do think toxic masculinity is a big problem. What do you do? I think you're doing it. And being nice to men and people in your life, talking about it. Well, that's the conclusion that I have come to, is that I just have to keep talking about it and being open to people being here. I'm open to people arguing with me in chat, you know? I'll be like, cool, come in. You can tell me about how I'm a lib cuck. Let's have that conversation. That's fine. It just doesn't feel like enough. I just don't have the answers. no one does, I guess. Like, I can see the problems. Again, both my dad and my stepdad, wonderful men who will cry. Like, my dad cries every time that I get in the cab to leave for the airport. He cries every time I leave. I'm not going to give the anecdote about my stepdad because I'm not crying about it again. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it today. I cried yesterday in a coffee shop in Tampa because of something about my stepdad. Not today, bitch. My dad, yeah, very openly emotional man. I don't feel like he has that in him. But I'm also always there to talk to him. Like, I'm always happy to hear any problem he's having and help him with it. And like, we have, 2-hour-long phone calls where he'll just talk to me about whatever problem he's having. And he's so open to hearing about mine. And like, I think all of the men in my life, I feel like I'm very supportive of. And I've heard that before, like when I've spoken about this particular thing about like letting men be emotional and how one of the problems that we have here is that they're told that they have to be these like rocks and they're not allowed to express emotion. And this happens for all men, not just white men, of course. It might even be worse in other communities, to be honest. It might even be worse in particular POC communities. I keep getting this feedback where people are like, no, it's the women who call me a pussy. I'm like, is it? Surely they exist, but it can't be every woman you know is treating you that way. Is it like middle America that's doing that? Where are women doing this? Like, I'm not going to call people liars when they're saying that they're struggling with feeling heard, but why would anyone do that? You know? Yeesh. My dad cries at the movie Flipper. He's a biker. My mom gets really annoyed at work emails that are sent out to the whole office that are concerning one person's action. She sees them as her being admonished for something she didn't do. I also wonder where that particular thing comes from. I also, like, again, don't doubt that I've spoken about this publicly before, but like, whenever someone talks shit about white women, I don't take offense to it. I just don't relate to that particular thing. I don't go, well, I'm not that. Like, I just go, okay, that's a problem you had. Damn. Bitches be crazy. I don't know. As a man who grew up in America, one thing that I've struggled with over the years is lack of opportunities. I've never blamed women or minorities for this. Like, there was nothing I could do to succeed. Thankfully, there were people in my life that supported me through that, and I don't know how I'd feel about things if I didn't have that. I mean, I would think lack of opportunity is a thing that is unrelated to you being a white man. This is pretty consistent for a lot of communities across the board. How do I feel about racial topics in comedy? I think it's the hardest balance in entertainment. I think you can joke about anything as long as you're funny. And usually if you're not funny, it's because you said something that's just like shock humor stupid, you know? A lot of women are definitely as conditioned by patriarchy as men are. I mean, totally. Like, women have a bunch of internalized misogyny as well, for sure. As a Latina, my male relatives do not like crying or showing any emotion other than anger because it's not masculine. It's just such a bummer. Maybe this is a generational thing that, like, well, I guess it's not, because again, if the young men are pushing right, it's just, I don't know. I really feel like at the end of the day, like, when life comes down to it, what matters is your community. So it's like the people that you have around you and caring for those people is really what matters at the end of the day. The friends you have, the families around you, loving those people, supporting those people, and letting them be emotionally open. That's like, I can't, that's it. That's what life is about. Supporting the people that you can. It is unfathomable to me that people, and I don't doubt it, that people do exist who are like, yeah, but only if you don't show fucking emotion. Like, it's so backwards. It's so stupid. Why? I fortunately never grew up around any of that be a man nonsense. Yeah, I think most of my male friends probably didn't, knowing the kind of people that I know, but yeah. Anger and sadness are two sides of the same coin. Kind of. Under these conditions, young men also fail to acquire tools to manage alone in an individualist civil society, further undermining their confidence and raising their defenses. That is also true. because they don't think they should. I don't really know. Some of it's really got to fucking come down to the dads. It really is about the friends we made along the way. You're goddamn right. I feel like it was mostly a generational thing, but the right-wing grifters were able to attach onto it and exploit it. Totally. Yeah. Yeah, it maybe was a thing that we were growing out of, but those grifters are so successful. Because it's just, you can just benefit so much by making people angry, you know? And I'm not about it, man. I'm just not about it. Okay. I feel like we covered this. Getting rid of secret DEI policies. What else we got here? What the hell do I do? Hang on, didn't you say you shared something, Scott? I'm somehow not seeing it. Oh, list of things tied to 2025 that are currently done. All right, here we go. Project 2025 tracker. Things that are actually happening. Surprise, surprise, ended up being a white man. Oh. Overall progress, US aid, which I do not know a lot about. US aid. From my vague knowledge of US aid, it is a government program that focused on international development. They tried to help other countries. Is that correct? That's right. Ish. I know I'm being serious, but yeah, what did I do? Vocal stems cracked me up. Sorry. America's Goodwill, yeah, okay. Surprise, surprise, and I'm being a white man. Oh! What the hell do I do? It's such a good song. I know you haven't lived in Oz for a while, but have you noticed a huge amount of Trump supporters there, even on the other side of the world? It really is a cult. So I lived in Australia for like 4 months last year, and no, everyone fucking hated him. I met one Trump supporter, that he didn't admit to me that he was a Trump supporter, and I realized later because he Instagram DM'd me and asked me why I hated Trump and said because he's a white man, and I said, no. Actually, I said I don't even hate him. I think he's a spineless, power-hungry, money-hungry weasel. That's kind of different to hate. And I was like, oh, you're a Trump supporter. That's crazy. But no, I would say it's very small, even in Australia. It's not really a thing. The tariffs will only hurt your own people a while to me. Yeah. Okay. Let me learn about USAID, please. I would like to know more about US aid. As someone who is not overly familiar with this particular thing. I was riding the train in Melbourne last year and I saw a guy wearing a MAGA cap on the train. It was odd. Yeah, it's not like it doesn't exist, but it is definitely unusual. I'm Australian. Both my brother and my dad love Trump. I'm so sorry. I guess my uncle likes Trump. My uncle likes Trump. One of my uncles. The other one fucking hates him. But I would say like vast majority of Australians think he's a joke. And the other uncle, the uncle who does like Trump, it's specifically because he's a conspiracy theorist. And so he likes Trump because he thinks that the media doesn't like him. To which I'm always like, you know that Fox News is the single biggest traditional media outlet? By a lot, too. Like, they're so much bigger than everyone else. They are the traditional media. They fucking love that guy. What do you mean the media doesn't like him? They fucking love that dude. They're sucking that dude off every day. Trump is very, very unpopular outside the US, even among conservatives. I would say yes. Overwhelmingly, internationally, he is extremely unpopular. Actually, there was a poll done where basically Europe was like, absolutely the fuck not. And then, God, this Kanye shit. Scott, did you share it with me? I think you did. Or maybe I saw it elsewhere about like Elon's Tesla sales massively tanking internationally. Like real bad because people like, fuck this guy. The US poll 53% approval rate. That's still pretty low too, right? Yeah, all over Europe and Australia, and even in Asian countries. Yeah, Australia should fucking pay for Murdoch, dude. Yeah, even in Asia, Pac Asia in general, the Tesla sales are hugely down like 59% in Europe. Yeah, Trump wasn't that popular in the US. It was just a lot of people didn't vote at all. Certainly, though, there were more votes than previous elections, right? I don't remember what all's been posted the last week. It's a lot. I get it. I get it. Okay, tell me about USAID. Thing that I'm vaguely familiar with, but not that much in the grand scheme of things. The United States Agency for International Development is an independent agency of the United States government that is primarily responsible for administering civilian foreign aid and development assistance. Huge dub, huge US dub. USAID was established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy to unite several existing foreign assistance organizations and programs under one agency. Statute law places USAID under the direct authority and policy guidance of the Secretary of State. It implements programs in global health, disaster relief, socioeconomic development, environmental protection, democratic governance, and education with the average annual disbursements of $23 billion since 2001. USAID is one of the largest official aid agencies. Damn. Primarily aids in Africa, Asia. Okay, what have they actually done, though? Disaster relief, poverty relief, technical operation, global issues, including the environment, U.S. bilateral interests. That would be most of it, right? I don't trust the U.S. at all. I'm so sure that it's probably mostly in the interests of the U.S. Socioeconomic development. All of these things are good for the U.S. economy, to be clear. Disaster relief. Some of the U.S. government's earliest foreign aid programs provided relief in war-created crises. I mean, we should be doing it anyway. We should be doing it anyway. You should be helping people. Trump is canceling everything he doesn't understand and realizes what they do, then reinstates some. That's the Elon 101 practice. Elon's strat repeatedly has been to gut companies and then see what's failing and then reinstate those things. So be like, okay, I gutted all this shit. Oh, now that's falling apart. Okay, we need to fix that. It's just crazy that you would do that with government. Do I think that the US probably has way too much bureaucracy? Absolutely, yes. Do I trust the establishment? No. I just definitely do not fucking think that you should be just running in there, gutting things, and then being like, oh, that failed? I guess we'll fix it, when some of those things are like people's healthcare. Like, the stakes are not, oh, Twitter doesn't let me update this thing anymore. The stakes are people dying. It's not, you can't just apply that strategy to every single thing you do. It worked with Twitter very well, but he is a bit weird. Did it? You remember how he was like campaigning on how he was going to fucking get rid of all the bots? There are more than I've ever seen before. It also like regularly doesn't function. The one thing that I was most often using Twitter for was football games. You used to be able to go like, I would put in Liverpool, like if I wasn't able to watch the game live, I would watch the text feed update. And if you put in, say, LIV PSG, I would get Liverpool's live updates on Twitter as like a little widget for all of their games with PSG. Doesn't work anymore, devastatingly. I genuinely was the tool I used that software for the most often, and it doesn't fucking work anymore. So now I have to go directly to Liverpool's feed to get updates. This is how hard my life is, you know what I mean? Sucks out here. Dude, I post any response on X or IG, it will get spammed with likes by bots. Yeah, I should have said this in my most recent YouTube video, but forgot. Maybe I did. I don't think I did. For the first time ever, we're over 50%. There are more bots using social media than there are real people. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. He destroyed Twitter's value to rig the election. He technically benefited at the expense of Twitter. That's true. I remember when it was happening, everyone was like, what a fucking idiot. Why is he buying this? And I was like, no, there's a plan. We just don't know what the plan is. And it was clearly to win the election. I just didn't know back then that he was going to get involved in government. Still technically not sworn in. Not actually allowed to be. I didn't know that. But that is 100% what it was for. He was like, what's the cost of buying an election? Got it. And that's what he did. Hello, Del. Dead Internet Theory is a scary Wikipedia page. I do have a whole YouTube video about dead internet theory.
Where is it? So this is the most recent one. Here, this is the video is called Twitter and Threads are treating you like crap. Most recent YouTube video. And then the one I have about dead internet theory. I think it's this one. Yeah, it is. This one. AI is killing the internet. Which, yeah, to be clear, my YouTube videos now, like I took down hundreds of YouTube videos semi-recently. Yeah, I now only have 82. That's crazy. At one point I had like 600. Every video that I make now is like very heavily scripted and sourced. I basically just changed the way that I do them. So these videos are, I'm not just like sharing me reacting to news. It's like, I will go through a ton of effort to make sure I'm sourcing them correctly. Anyway. Disaster relief. Some of U.S. government's earliest foreign aid programs provided relief in war-created crises. In 1915, U.S. government assistance through the Commission for Relief in Belgium, headed by Herbert Hoover, prevented starvation in Belgium after Germany's invasion. After 1945, the European Recovery Program, championed by Secretary of State George Marshall, helped to rebuild war-torn Western Europe. This is a thing we feel positively about, right? I'm sure that there are some conservatives who are like, no, that money's goddamn ours. You give me that goddamn money back. But, I feel positively about helping people from one of the richest countries in the world. I feel positively about it. I like it. What the hell do I do? But yeah, America has been in the toilet for decades. Something's gonna give. Has it? Been in the toilet for decades? Has it? In what way? Anyway. Manages relief efforts after wars and natural disasters through its Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance. Love that. Poverty relief. Many newly independent countries needed assistance. Okay, so basically, not a lot to research here. It is what I thought it was. They help other countries. U.S. National Interest Congress appropriates exceptional financial assistance to allies to support U.S. geopolitical interests. There's the kicker. No shit. I don't really trust the US government. It doesn't surprise me that they, like, disproportionately are really just helping their geopolitical interests, right? We are very behind as a country. We just showboat. What are we behind on? What specifically is the US behind on? I wouldn't be in America if it wasn't the best place to be if you're skilled. It's just a terrible place to start from zero. Yeah, I mean, I guess I did the same thing, right? I got the skills and then moved here. I didn't have to come from the ground up here. Mainly in the form of economic support funds, EFS. US aid is called on to administer bulk of ESF and is structured to the maximum extent feasible to provide ESF assistance consistent with policy, directions, purposes, and programs of development assistance. Also, when US troops are in the field, USAID can supplement the civil affairs programs that US military conducts to win the friendship of local populations. Okay, again, it's propaganda-y. It makes sense. It makes sense. I think it's safe to say we're behind on education and healthcare. Well, healthcare certainly. Healthcare in this country really is dog shit. And I can say that as someone who, you know, grew up in a different country and is not a citizen. Education. I also studied at university for 6 months. I did an exchange for my degree because I wanted to be in the US because I knew I needed to work in the US. And it was way fucking easier. The 4 subjects that I took while I was in the US was so much fucking easier than Australia. But that said, you do have some of the top schools in the entire world when it comes to colleges, like Harvard, etc. So there are really great educational hubs in the US, for sure. I watched Martin Scorsese narrate his daughter's makeup regimen and reminded me of Ryan doing yours. That was fun. What percentage of people that voted for Trump are regretting it, do you think? I think maybe 10% so far. I've seen some people come out and say that. Like, that's not happening, but I don't know how widespread that is.
When we talk about education, we mean equity in education, especially pre-university education, broad education rather than the high-end universities. Okay, fair enough, yeah. I guess I have no way of knowing what pre-university education in this country looks like. Lower education, I think, is what we call that in Australia. US has the top schools, but the prices are straight up insane compared to here in Europe. Honestly, also true. It is extremely unaffordable. Yeah, I'm not saying America number one, but do I think that America has been falling apart for decades? No. You know? Do you remember hearing from American friends studying in Australia how well grades in Australia transfer into the US? You could get like a 65 out of 100 and it would translate to something a lot higher in their home university. I don't doubt that, dude. There's a huge push in many conservative states to take money from public schools and put it into private schools, which are widely religious. They want more control over what is taught since this push education has plummeted in the US. Australia has that too, of course, private schools that tend to be religious. I went to a state school because my parents were not rich. So I went to a public school and I got kicked out of the religion class because, surprising nobody, I was sort of a little shit in school. Does school lunch debt exist in Australia? We don't have school lunch in Australia. That is a thing that I think is actually very cool, but you don't have school lunches in Australia. You have to make them yourself. I was a rebel. No, I was argumentative. Still am. I would be like, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Explain this. And they kick me out. Because, like, always autistic. But high school Alanah was unaware for a while of my need for specific information, and they kicked me out of religion class. You got the hostile government takeover song stuck in my head? Huge dub. Isn't the US literacy rate something like 80%? Yeah, I kind of also try to keep that in mind a lot of the time now when people are screaming at me about something. Then I'll be like, remember, they can't read. They can't even fucking read. Socioeconomic development, modes of assistance. Again, I feel like I pretty much understand this and there's nothing that I'm missing, right? This doesn't feel like something that requires a deep dive. My base level understanding is pretty standard. Governance doesn't surprise me. Humanitarian is great. Health is great. Like, doing this clearly benefits. War in Ukraine's a really interesting one. That's like definitely just a Russia play, but whatever. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Me and the white man. Oh. America has the richest segment of people in the world. It skews the per capita, but we also have some pretty deep lows as well. Yeah, the gap disparity from the richest to the most poor in the US is the worst that has existed in the world since the French Revolution. And that's how you get Luigi. That's how you end up with Luigi's. It's not great. USAID spending list. Okay. That's what got people upset. Oh, what the hell do I do? It really is really, really fucking stuck in my head. Growing up being autistic, I feel is universal for all autistic people. Overly questioning things in school and society seem to not make logical sense and annoying the teachers and adults. I mean, I still do this. The things that get me in trouble on the internet more often than not is that I don't expect people to respond to things with emotion. And I go, that's just a fact. Why are you upset? And then they're really upset and I'm like, okay. It's hard. Okay, I don't know how valid this website is. In the past week, there's been a lot of discussion around the Agency for International Development and where the billions of dollars in humanitarian aid actually goes when being sent overseas. Fun fact, everybody, okay? As somebody who studied journalism in high school, this is a bad sentence. This is something that I wish was fucking taught more for sure, is media literacy. If I were your editor, would say, you do not get to say that without directly giving me a source. Never. Any sentence that's from any website that says anything that's like, there's a lot of people have been saying, but doesn't explicitly tell you who and where and how many of them, or like quote them, or like say, here, this person said this, it should immediately be treated with scrutiny as a news source. It is like just a straight up rule across the board. I don't doubt that this is true, but if you are a journalist and you are reporting, you don't get to say, people have been saying, you don't get to do it. That is really bad practice and does not reflect well on your website. Anyway, the Trump administration has been a huge advocate in wanting to shut down USAID as an independent agency and putting it under the authority of the State Department. Why? I didn't realize what he wanted to do was a shift. The State Department. Why? Anyway, President Trump has said USAID is being run by a bunch of radical lunatics. As part of his first day in office, Trump signed an executive order pausing foreign assistance for 90 days. Taxpayer funding for USAID doubled from the beginning of Trump's term from 2017 to the end of Joe Biden's, rising from $20.5 billion. I mean, that's probably because of the war, though, right? That's Ukraine. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has accused the USAID rank insubordination through its use of taxpayer dollars. Rubio, who has also named the agency, well, I wonder. Anyway, all Trump wants to do is strip the money out so that he can steal it. Yeah, look, to be clear, I don't doubt that Trump's real goal with literally all of this is to just be richer. Literally everything. But we'll get there. Rubio, who was also named the agency's acting administrator, argued on Fox News, USAID has evolved into a global charity. This allows it to spend tax dollars irrespective of whether it is in the national interest or not in the national interest. Sorry, who is Rubio? Marco Rubio. Who are you? Because that's a hefty claim to make, Marco. Surprise, surprise, it'll not be in a white man. Oh! Republican Party, Senator of Florida. He ran in 2016 and failed. Cuban American from Miami. He's a career politician. That's really it. He's just a career politician. In a 3-year race, he was elected in 2010. So he's been a career politician for a while. But that is a hell of a claim. USAID employees have been told not to come into the office. 2 senior officials were placed on leave after refusing to allow Doge. That's fucking wild. And 2 senior officials, just this sentence. How did you not know of Marco Rubio? The reason I started doing these political streams is because there's a lot that I don't know. So my whole purpose here is to learn in real time while also bringing you with me down the learning part. But I can't vote, so I don't know who, and I don't watch the news. I don't know who half of these fucking people are, or many things about any of them. We learn 2 senior officials were placed on leave after refusing to allow Doge employees to access files, including classified information. That's fucking crazy. This is the thing that makes me want to scream more than anything else. How is this a thing that's happening? And we're just sort of sitting by and being like, okay, I guess. Fucking wild. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters the agency has proven to be poor stewards of tax dollars. If you take a look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, there are some insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. USAID is facing scrutiny after the Presidential Advisory Committee, DOGE. Again, DOGE is not legal, right? Like, not allowed? How is this happening? Led by Elon Musk, discovered and halted several wasteful payments from the agency, according to the White House. Here's a list of USAID expenses. This cannot be true. There is truly no way that can be true. 50 million payments for condoms in Gaza. So there's no proof. It's just something someone said. And people are just believing it. This is just something someone said. And everyone's like, well, it must be true then. This makes this so fucking useless. Am I not afraid to be a Gaza supporter in the US, especially LA? Afraid of what? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I was like, that can't be true, and their link is just a link to someone saying something. Why would anyone believe this? How many condoms is that? You know, we do need to see the receipts. Okay, how much is a condom? About $1. You're telling me we're supposed to be believing that they sent 50 million condoms to Gaza? A place that has a population of 2 million. And that's the thing we're supposed to be believing. And we're just not. We're just buying that and writing articles about it. Bitch, excuse me? Cheaper in bulk. True. It's probably they probably actually made savings if they bought that many condoms. Fucking hell. Doge had Elon Musk remarked via X, such an expense was the tip of the iceberg, adding my guess is that a lot of that money ended up being in the pockets of Hamas, not actually condoms. I'm gonna need a receipt for this one, Chief. I do not believe you. I'm gonna need to see some proof here. I straight up don't believe you. I'm living in Europe and I'm afraid to talk about the conflict as I'm fired or face repercussions. Surprise, not being a white man. Oh, nobody can fire me. I'm an independent and face repercussions. My stance is repercuss me. Like, if I face some negative, I'm obviously in a position of privilege, right? But if I face some negative outcome because I have said that I think that this is an active ongoing genocide and that it is disgusting, okay. Like, I'd be like, great, punish me. If I am punished for saying that, go ahead. Yeah, if they were to send me back to Australia, I don't think I would be upset about it. I'd be like, all right. Fair enough. Just let me bring my dog. Condoms, Gaza. Debunked. We need some information. Okay, this is a CNN fact check about these $50 million worth of condoms. Again, I don't believe this for a fucking second, but I would like to find out more. Makes it even worse when we get Trump wanting the US to take over Gaza and rebuild that there. Yeah, I saw a clip of him saying that. Like, beautiful, beautiful property. That's actually the thing that I would say has upset me the most throughout any of this. That I was like, wow, that just complete disregard for human life there is fucking disgusting. Really, really bothered me. You are lost. Sorry, what am I lost on? What am I lost on? Do you think that the government was sent $50 million worth of condoms to Gaza? Is that a thing you think is true? You believe that? Is that where I'm lost? During her first official White House briefing as President Donald Trump's press secretary, Carolyn, announced that Trump had prevented a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. Trump's team, she said, used the president's pause on foreign aid to thwart a plan in which they were about to spend $50 million of taxpayer money to fund condoms in Gaza. The White House offered no evidence for the story, correct? It provided no proof for her claim that there was ever a federal plan to spend $50 million on condoms in Gaza. And when CNN asked Leavitt and her colleagues for any evidence, another White House official instead pointed us to comments from the State Department, comments that, as I'll discuss below, did not even repeat Leavitt's claim of a plan. This is funny. Someone said something and then they go, where's the proof? And it's just another person saying something. Doesn't work that way when you're talking about this particular kind of thing. Obviously, first-hand sources should not immediately be dismissed when you are talking about something as absurd as 50 million Gaza condoms. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. In the 3 years under Biden, USAID spent no money on condoms in the entire Middle East. A detailed federal report, that'll do it, published last year said USAID did not provide or fund any condoms in the Middle East in 2021, 2022, and 2023. The report, noted by The Guardian on Tuesday, said the only Middle East contraceptives provided or funded by USAID during that 3-year period went to the country of Jordan, It was a small order of injectables and progestin-only contraceptive pills totaling about $46,000. Total worldwide... Ooh, I hate that. Doesn't load anymore. Because they've been gutting all government sources. Does the USAID website even work anymore? No. USAID website. The whole fucking website doesn't even load. Wow. That is the most Orwellian shit in the world. So basically, like, you get to just say that that happened. And even though they did have a source where they detailed, no, actually, that didn't happen, that's just fucking gone now. Yikes, dude. And I feel like all of the people who've been screaming for all of these years about thinking that the left were being Orwellian, that is fucked. Having this is just usaid.gov. Blank webpage. Holy shit. Yikes. Okay. So again, it was said in a federal report. I have to take this news article at face value, unfortunately. They did link to it, but it can no longer be accessed. Fuck me. We are cooked. The report noted, maybe The Guardian has a screenshot or something. Well, they detail the specifics, but no screenshot. Wow, that's fucked. Condom spending is far less than 50 million. 2023 fiscal year, USAID provided and funded a global total of about 7 million worth of male condoms and about 1.1 worth of female condoms, overwhelming countries in Africa, according to the federal report. In other words, Leavitt was essentially claiming Tuesday that the Biden administration had decided to provide more than 6 times the 2023 worldwide value of condoms to a single tiny territory that has 2 million people, and that is a region that does not usually receive condoms from the US. Again, it's just, the claim doesn't even make sense. Why would that ever be a fucking thing? My aunt said payroll? About what? Start fresh. About what? What are you talking about? What you can't just come in here and send you on payroll, you know what I mean? Is timestamp in this video in it? Oh, sorry, we can't receive links. Oh. What the hell do I do? Trump's claim was that 50 million condoms was for Gaza, but it was specifically for Hamas. Yeah. Give me an archive of that website on Wayback Machine. Okay, hang on. Let me pull that up then, because it's this particular link. This one right here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, here we go. We're on Wayback. Not that this is worth my time, right? Isn't this like part of it? They just want you to spend time digging into shit that's clearly not fucking true. Just obviously, objectively not true. Overview of contraceptive and condom shipments. FY. How many pages is this? Okay, we're just gonna go Control F Gaza. No mentions. Palestine. Israel. Africa. No mentions of Gaza in this entire document. But I mean, I guess that, so they didn't, is the truth is that they didn't. It's a publicly available document published on a government website. But I guess what they'll do is just go, no, they did. But then they did, actually. Oh, Aaron sent a link. Thank you. But they did. You can't believe that. They're lying, is what they will say, right? That's the solution here. Is the US sending $50 million in condoms to Gaza as Trump claims? Trump made the contraceptive claim while listing his administration's accomplishments since coming into office. We identified and stopped 50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. They use them as a method of making bombs. How? But I can't. I fucking can't. That's so fucking stupid. Oh my god. 83 million was sent to 2 provinces in Mozambique, including one called Gaza. So they did actually support contraceptive health in Africa, which is obviously, for anyone who would question it, hugely beneficial for poverty. Condom bombs for real, bro. That's what's up. We bombing people with them. We're doing it. Con bombs. Hey Jeff, you can give MD Major there a code for making me laugh at con bombs. You get free game codes if you make me laugh on stream. Also, why are you advertising me these shoes that I already have, Sketches? I love these, for the record. It's such a weird thing to do, though. I have these. I love them. They're so fucking comfortable. I wore them today walking Banjo. Highly recommend. But you don't need to sell me on these shoes that I already own. It's so weird. Why did the White House make the condoms claim? Trump appears to have been trying to frame Gaza an example of wasteful U.S. foreign aid spending. His administration has justified its suspension of illegal foreign aid by highlighting examples of the egregious funding. It's like, here's the problem with this, right? I actually don't doubt that there has probably been a bunch of funding that I would fundamentally disagree with, because I think that US aid is probably self-serving. They are probably specifically funding departments, or rather countries that are geopolitically advantageous to them. You could easily give me a bunch of lists of things that they've spent that I would probably be like, don't like that. That's corrupt. War, not one of them. But like, when you come in here and you just start with a ridiculous fucking lie, how do I listen to any of it? How would I pay attention to any of it? Like, what else is on this list? DEI in Serbia? 70,000 for the production of DEI musical in Ireland. DEI musical. It's so funny. 47,000 on a transgender opera in Colombia. 32,000 for a transgender comic in Peru. None of these have sources, for the record. Why are we against that? We can give millions to the World Health Organization. That's actually really helpful. Let's find out about this DEI musical in Ireland. What is it? Trying to find all the stories about it tend to, just because I use the word DEI, they're just other things saying it, but not evidence of it. Okay, the money that they gave to Ireland was for something called Other Voices, which is a concert in the US ambassador's residence in Phoenix Park, which was also financially supported by Irish state bodies. So it was funded because it was at the US ambassador's place? Same priorities. This website, I can't actually. Just got too many ads. Who was the Irish company who received $70,000 from USA to preview a live musical DEI event? This is so fucking funny. USA is no longer a part of who Trump hates it because he told the truth about COVID and it made him look bad. Totally, yeah. Just know that I, for the record, am in support of the World Health Organization. Personally, big up. Social media has been set ablaze after it was revealed that $70,000 was spent by the US government producing a live musical event in Ireland in the name of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay, who is the company? An Irish company is listed on filings published by the US government. The company is called, I'm not going to pronounce that. Pagan, how do I say that? Pagan, is pagan in chat? What the fuck is this word? Ahmad Pagan is Irish. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to say that. An address in Ventry, Cokerry. Oh, she's in bed. My bad. Fair enough. We'll follow up and be like, what is word, Pagan? It received a $70,000 payment in September 2022. The same month, a live music event took place at the Irish Embassy, organized by a group called Other Voices. Other Voices Limited is registered at the same address as is another company. Okay, so this basically says that the US did indeed send money to this address, but not that it was specifically to whatever this is. The 3 companies in question are owned by Mr. P. King, according to company filings. It's described as a minority-owned business and a non-profit, so they basically sent money to a charity. According to receipts for the US Department of State, it received funding to deliver a live musical event to promote the US and Irish shared values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this is what the funding is actually for. It is not to promote a DEI musical. This, again, not that I'm for it, but I reckon that's probably what virtually all of the government spending from USAID has been for, because I really don't trust the US. Is that it got funding because it promotes the US. It's almost like it's propaganda. Lot of propaganda. On the Other website, Other Voices says since 2001, Other Voices has brought some of the world's leading luminaries to the westernmost tip of Europe to raise their voices and sing. Glastonbury headliners, Grammy winners. Do I feel like the USAID should be funding this kind of shit? Probably not. I guess like government grants kind of exist everywhere, right? But this is not true. This is just not true. This senator is lying. This is not what's happened. They did not fund a DEI musical in Ireland. They funded something that promotes basically the relationship between the US and the Irish. It makes sense. 70,000 is like pennies of the budget for sure. Like, do I think that they should be doing that? Again, probably not. But yeah, for them it's fucking nothing, right? That is so little money. The point of USAID is to show the world, look at the good I'm doing, see me, I'm cool. Yeah, but again, if it's beneficial, I'm cool with it. Like if they are funding war-torn countries, again, with the amount of money that's in the US, fully in support of that. Great, actually. We love that, actually. This kind of thing? Probably not. Probably don't do that. Where was I? Okay, so that was not true. That was not true. It was just like some... it was an event that promoted the US interests. Transgender opera in Colombia. Tough to find a good source here. This is more of just people like saying it happened, but not. $32,000 for a transgender comic in Peru. Yeah, tough to find proof of these things. I'm having trouble. Go away. No, the US Agency for International Development didn't fund a transgender opera in Colombia. What the hell do I do? And like, to be clear, it's also not unusual that government funding funds art. Some of the best games that have ever come out of Australia have been from government grants. Actually, some of the best art in general has come out of government grants. It's not a policy that I'm against, in general. Using government grants to fund locally made art is great. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest that the US would do it to fund US propaganda internationally, but whatever. Google searches for USAID spending lists have spiked globally in the wake of White House claims that the Under Siege International Development Agency wasted taxpayers' money funding work initiatives. Yeah, that's so fucking funny. If it sounds unlikely that USAID, an international development agency focused primarily on providing vital food aid, extremism prevention projects, and disaster relief to countries around the world, would add transgender operas to its spending lists because it didn't. It was referring to a 2022 production of an opera called As One, a chamber opera by acclaimed American composer Laura Kaminsky, which focuses on the inner journey of Hannah, a transgender woman, and her process of personal discovery from her childhood in a small town. 3 performances of As One were put on in Bogota, Colombia in March and April 2022. thanks to a co-production between La Compañía Estabel and the Universidad de Los Andes. The $47,000 figure quoted by Levitt appears to be related to the fact that the government Universidad de Los Andes in Bogota received $25,000 under a State Department program allocated for expanding and strengthening the relationship between the people and the government of the United States, citizens, and the rest of the world. So basically, this received funding because of an American composer worked on it, right? It's just an arts grant. The remaining $22,000 for the production also wasn't funded by the federal government, according to notice. So yeah, so the amount of money was wrong. Well, that is technically correct, though. It technically was trans, but that's not why they funded it. The remaining $22,000 for the production also wasn't funded by federal government. When I asked about the mistake, Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly told us notice was immaterial. President Trump is delivering on his promise to cut wasteful spending across federal agencies. Notice is totally missing the point. Taxpayers don't want to fund transgender operas in Colombia. What do you think? Okay, so if they cut all this spending for international projects, that's fucking wild, that one. Oof. What are we doing with that money? What are we doing with it? Where is it going? Is it going to healthcare? Because if not, I don't give a shit. They didn't even directly fund the opera, it was just given to the university? Yes, that's correct. Elon is claiming to cut $2 trillion from the budget. None of this really has an impact. It's just going to tax cuts for the rich. But again, if you cut $2 trillion from the budget, where is that money going? For what? To fund the billionaire tax cuts they're about to collapse? But that doesn't cost money. I guess deportations make sense. You don't need to fund... Well, I guess funding their tax cuts, like if the billionaires are being taxed even less, which they're already fucking being taxed nothing. Then they're trying to make that money up. $2 trillion though. So we don't run a deficit. It's not really possible for the US to run without a deficit. And this is a thing that I read a whole bunch about on a stream. Maybe on a stream? I think so. That deficits are very useful for international relations. There's also unspent aid money that USAID has, and Watchdogs are saying that this money is totally uncountable right now. I think that I would be okay with cutting funding. And kind of am in general. I'm actually not against the cuts. I'm against the way that they're happening. Because I do think that the country is probably too bureaucratic and has a bunch of really stupid expenditures. I don't doubt that. I just don't think that Elon Musk, not an elected official, and his task of teen boys, I know they're older than that, but you get my point, is the people to do it illegally. Not like this, Chief. Certainly not like this. Oh, we're fine with that. $12 million in support services for the Bureau of Resilience, Environment, and Food Security. That's also good. I'm so in support of foreign aid. $6 million in non-emergency funding for redundant administrative supports like the Center of Excellence. $3 million in non-emergency funding to provide evaluation services for planning and learning programs. Why would we be against that either? And $3 million is so little for something like that. You can talk about this amount of money. You know, I think I said this. The amount of money that we raise for LA Fire Relief, which by the way, you still donate. We've raised $8,239, including me donating all of my Twitch earnings and some extra from last month. And MinMax donating the money they were supposed to give me last month. I asked them to donate it instead. We're about to hit 10,000. It would be really cool to do that. We've raised 1.7 million or something. You know, that's not even a single house. That's not even enough funding for one of the houses we lost.
That was a really good call.
Hello, sir.
You made a really good artistic call.
Thank you. I'm very smart. Much better. Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
Ah! Hey!
Hey! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I am saying.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what I meant. You dry washed it.
Yeah, just a little bit. I didn't want to overdo it. Just want to give it that little glow. You were right. It was too black, like the casing.
Looks great. Mission accomplished.
Wait, flip the other side, because that's not the real viewing angle. Yeah.
A little glow on him. Love it. You love to see it.
The camera is not really. It's not doing it justice.
Stop trying to focus on my face, bro. Come on.
It's not having it.
Come on.
Oh!
Absolutely lovely.
What are they talking about?
I like his little tuft.
What are they talking about?
Beautiful. You killed that lad.
Post a photo on Rahul Paints. Yeah, I will. One thing I haven't done and then I'm finished.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Where were we?
God, I love painting.
Where was I?
Like, I love it. Do you know what I mean?
Did you know that the US government sent 50 million in condoms to Gaza?
No. They was
Great news.
For
They,
Hamas.
they didn't.
No, it's completely fake.
There's just no evidence of it at any point whatsoever.
That was last week.
I'm catching up. Yeah, ultimately the US aid is a drop in a bucket. The funny part is Trump did say that the money for soft power he wants to give to the State Department, so we will be more blatant about our control. Do you have any squigs? He does have squigs, yes. Yes.
That's what we call my penis.
Oh, I love your squig. Yeah, give me that. Give me that hard squig. Yes. Nobody's going to benefit from 70k not being spent. It's just their way to keep people riled up and focus on non-issues. I don't disagree. It's very little money. Hello, Bubby. Hello. There's a boy here. Look at him. Oh no, that's me. It's Rahul. I spoke to you like you were Banjo then. It's Banjo. Turns out, not true. We've debunked it. Yeah, I just, yep. Okay, what else we got here? What else we got? Oh, I should check out the Reddit, because I think someone said that they
What are
posted
you
something
doing?
on Reddit.
Politics?
White girls politicking, that's that Sarah Palin getting
You're doing white girl politics.
Californicating.
Wow.
The link to government repository of executive orders. Oh, that's helpful. This was sent by somebody who works.
I used to know.
You didn't have to cut me off.
What they talking about?
They talking about nothing. You can't do that to me. You can't just walk in here, sing a song. You know what happens.
Oh, you get stuck in your head.
Forever. What?
Oh. When you say daddy's home.
Ugh.
Home for me.
Ugh. It's one of your worst Rahulisms. Hello. Oh, hello from Bruce's chat, everybody. Hi. Welcome.
Oh, it's gooses.
What up, geeses?
No, they're not geeses. They're gooses.
They're gooses?
Yeah. Bruce's gooses.
Well, I like to
'Cause
call
they
them.
don't say Bruce's geese.
I like to call them Brees. Breese's geeses. That him? He's a Brees.
I'm growing my hair. I'm a soft boy.
I knew it. What? What they talk about? They talk about nothing. They talk about nothing. What?
Me and my toys.
Very cute.
I'm 40.
I don't know how to. You're not yet 40. Hi everyone, welcome. I have been singing "What the hell do I do" for a really long time.
I have been playing Kingdom Come. Oh, Bruce's was playing Kingdom Come. I'm playing
Nice.
Kingdom Come.
The President of the United States manages the operations of the executive branch of government through executive orders. After the President signs an executive order, the White House sends it to the office. Yeah, so these. Wow. Okay.
You know,
You can
when
just
you
see
read,
those?
you have dead eyes.
Ugh.
I just saw that on there.
What are you supposed to do when reading?
I don't want to give you insecurity. You can look more alive when you're reading. Look, you have dead eyes.
Look how boring it is, though.
Read it again.
The OFR numbers.
Dead eyes.
What am I supposed to do?
You look like the early Mass Effect Andromeda eyes.
I said for IGN when I worked there that they look like Sims 3 characters. What? How? Okay, read. Go ahead.
What? Where?
Read this.
The FOR numbers.
You're acting. That's not reading.
That's how I read.
Well, the OFR
Why do you think it
numbers
takes
each
me-
order consecutively as part of a series and public. You know, that's fucking stupid.
Why do you think it takes me so long to read a page?
'Cause you
that's how I read in
animate
my
the whole
head.
time.
My head reads like that.
Jason? Who? Jason. Well, this is helpful to know. He signed 53 executive orders in 2025. Wow, man, Trump goes hard on. Okay, Obama did more.
George
doubt
Bush
he
did more.
can go
Okay, we take it
hard.
back.
I doubt he goes hard.
You're right. He doesn't go
No,
hard.
he
He's
doesn't
not
go
fucking
hard.
it at all anymore.
No.
Fucking Clinton. Didn't they say that Obama did nothing? That's more than Trump. Biden did not do very many.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe. Yeah, but that's over 8 years. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. So that's 220 plus 53.
I can't believe
He's
I did
racking them up
this.
there with 273. That's sick. I didn't know this was publicly available. That's really cool. It's really cool that you can even check on that. We talk about nothing. What?
I was about to say Trump, but I knew it was going to be terrible because I can't do Trump.
Okay, so there's something about
Abu.
there's something about
Sleepy Joe. Come on, folks. Come on.
there's something about Asmongold thinking. I was telling you about this yesterday, Rahul. Something about Asmongold thinking that they were paid to like smear gamers or something. Elon Musk pushes false claim ex-USAID chief earned 23 million, the biggest Doge hoaxes spread on X.
I know the story. I saw it on Reddit.
Okay. Yeah.
He was saying, Asmongold. Oh, I told you. Oh, God, what was it? He was speculating that USAID
Yeah.
and games were linked.
Why on earth would they be linked?
There was money spent on something.
There's no evidence to suggest USAID is engaged in any money laundering. Nice. On Saturday afternoon, Musk reposted a claim. Literally, why would they be? Why would a government department do that? I don't even understand why you would think that. Musk reposted a claim on X that suggests USAID was a form of money laundering taxpayers' money into far-left organizations. Is that money laundering or is that just funding things? You know what I mean? Neither the poster offered sources or factual information. Although Republicans have criticized the organization for alleged wasteful spending, there's no evidence that USAID was engaging in criminal behavior to support left-wing organizations. That's what I'm saying. Is that what that? I feel like that's not money laundering.
I didn't tell you this. I completely forgot. But you know, we have a mutual Trump supporter.
What do you mean?
Remains nameless.
I
I
don't understand
know-
that sentence.
You know what? We know we have a.
Oh, we have a friend who's a Trump supporter? Yeah.
Yeah. I was popping off with them or at them, and it reached a climax of him going, "Do you want Sesame Street made in Iraq?" And then it's serious.
Sure. I'm not even against it. Go
Habib,
ahead.
I'm down for
Go
it. Habibi.
ahead. Thank you. Like to store for BB.
I forgot.
That kind of sounds sick, dude. It'll be more interesting.
It was Bruce. Yeah.
America
No,
will
it wasn't
constantly be in the
Bruce.
process to be great again because it can never make it to greatness. I mean, that ain't wrong. Musk responded on a post on X claiming former USAID chief Samantha Power earned $23 million between 2020 and 2024. She received a salary of $183,000 while working as administrator, so that's just not true. There's no evidence suggesting she benefited from her position to the tune of billions of dollars. In 2020, Power disclosed royalties and sales from her books, none of which exceeded $1,000 in addition. So again, this is just not true.
Oh my God! Someone said there wouldn't be Miss Piggy because it's haram.
It's haram.
Pork's haram.
It's haram.
Pork is
I'd
haram.
watch Iraqi Sesame Street, bro.
100%.
Let's get good.
Wallahi, I'd watch it. Wallahi.
Wallahi. Power disclosed a retirement fund valued at up to $1 million and other assets held in ETFs and mutual funds. So yeah, just not true. Were taxpayer funds used to create transgender mice? Oh my god, bro! This is so absurd. Oh, where are they at? I want to know about these trans mice.
The mice.
They're trans. They're making the mice gay. They're taking the mice. They're making them gay. You won't believe it. Somebody misgendered Banjo today at the coffee shop. Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's a he," and I was like, "It's alright. He doesn't mind. You're okay. He's fine with
He
being."
goes by any
misgendered."
pronouns.
Yeah, he, she, they. He doesn't give a shit. You call him little bitch boy, and he's fine with it.
Actually, he did misgender Banjo.
He did, yeah.
Wait, what did he call?
She.
Oh no, then he didn't. He respected Banjo's pronouns because
Yeah, but
Banjo
we
identifies
reject
as
Alexa.
Alexa.
It's true.
Banjo seems to think that Alexa is
People
their
laugh
name.
at absurd animal studies, but that's how Ozempic was discovered. Well, yeah, I mean, animal studies have actually, like, I am morally against them, but have uncovered many a thing.
Just casually getting a text
Go ahead, you can say it.
from Markiplier. Cool.
Yeah, we chat. We'd be
Yeah.
chatting over text.
Cool.
People still believe Trump's lie that some U.S. schools were taking children and giving them transgender surgeries without parents' permission. Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Have you not
man.
seen that clip?
I
where
guess
he
you can just
goes-
lie about
Have
everything.
you not seen that clip where he goes, They're sending their kids to school, their son, and they go to school, they come back, it's now their daughter. Have you not seen that?
No.
That everyone was like
Believe
lip
you don't.
syncing to it with their kid leaving dressed as a boy.
I'm behind on my lib quota for trans mice. For real, bro. Let me learn about these trans mice, okay? I want to hear about them. They're taking the mice and they're making them trans. When is it going to end? The libs out here in California, they can't help themselves. Ooh, my hands farted.
Yeah, they did. You queefed with your hands.
Can't do it again. Rep. Nancy Mace claimed in a hearing that $10 million in taxpayer funds, not specifically involving USAID, supported studies that created transgender mice, rats, and monkeys. Mace said those surgeries surgically mutated animal genitals. Oh,
She's the one who also used the T slur.
this is a different thing, though.
Nancy May. She's a turf.
This,
or whatever.
so undergoing, it's always disappointing. When am I going to stop being disappointed? Undergoing surgery to mutate animal genitals does not make them trans. That's not how that works. Like,
If we're gonna
someone having a
talk-
sex
if-
change doesn't make them, yeah, that's mental. It
Sorry,
doesn't make them trans.
But if people are saying that mutilating genitals makes you trans, then every man in America is trans.
It's a good point. Good point. Good point. Great point, Rahul.
Thank you.
Coming in here. You ate with that one. Great point.
They're saying
That's what the people are saying.
they're cutting off their foreskins.
What a DEI. Nancy Mace was one of the first women admitted to an all-male military school here in SC. DEI hire for real, bro. They're just using the wrong word. Well, they're certainly using the wrong word. You can't just make somebody trans. You can't just trans somebody. Surgery doesn't accomplish that. I'm sorry. You know what else is hormone therapy, performance-enhancing drugs, aka steroids? So Joe Rogan trans now, so dumb. Also, like, the amount of women who are on hormone therapy, my mom's on hormone therapy. It's really common for women who are pre, during, or post-menopausal because otherwise, like, they can deal with horrible side effects. We're not against hormone therapy. It's really fucking common. But the mice are trans. They're transgenic. That's what we test stuff on, transgenic animals. We're talking about a different kind of trans here. This is not transgender. Well, some US funding has been used on research to study the effects of hormone therapy on mice, which we're fine with, as revealed in a report from the Anti-Animal Testing White Coat Waste Project. Again, when I say fine with, I have to give the caveat that it's probably unethical, but that's just how medicine works.
It's a great point from P.S. Lombardo. That's
Cis men and women get gender-affirming healthcare all the time.
those
100%.
trips to Turkey. What do you think they are?
Yeah,
what
it's
do you think
gender-affirming care.
Elon
Yeah,
got? Done?
absolutely.
That's gender affirming care.
Absolutely.
I haven't had gender affirming care.
I'm trying to think if you've done anything that would count as gender-affirming care.
No,
Dyeing your beard doesn't count.
I've never done. I've only for work.
Yeah, but you've done it.
No.
I don't really think that's gender-affirming anyway.
no.
I've also... Oh, no, you could argue I get gender-affirming care by dyeing my hair. Maybe?
No, that's not gender affirming.
No, that's true. It's not gender-affirming. You're right. Other studies only propose using mice to study the effects of hormone therapy, including how it affects responsiveness to vaccines. Why on earth would you be against this? Taxpayer funds used to create transgender mice. Again, outside of the mistreatment of animals, I'm just talking about, like, if we accept that part, which ethically questionable, is just using hormones on mice. This is just a scientific study. It's not about making the mice trans. We take the mice, we make them trans.
If we're worried about 10 million, can you find out how much Trump's visit to the Super Bowl cost taxpayers? For the security, Secret Service, and he also took other people in his political party to the Super Bowl last night.
I doubt I'll be able to get
And then
that.
left early because he was being booed.
I doubt I'll be able to get that information, but you're not wrong.
They were
Were
they
my eyebrows
published it
gender
today.
affirming? My eyebrows would not be gender affirming, no.
Trump Super
Trump.
Bowl cost.
Yeah, so this is just an estimate. We don't have the actual.
But it looks like
20 million.
I'd rather have
And sorry,
double the amount
and
of
we're
transgender
complaining.
mice.
We're complaining about testing hormone therapy on mice. Again, a really common thing. Is this not a thing people know, that like hormone therapy is extremely common, and not just used on trans people? Again, my mum is on hormone therapy. Shut up, Ethan. Get out of here. Don't chat to me about Gulf of America.
I've also
The Gulf of Mexico is great. Thanks.
made a hormone therapy.
Oh,
Too far? Shall I leave?
how dare you? You come here calling people whores? I support sex workers, to be fair. I support them.
Sorry, that was.
You fucking... You apologize, bitch.
I apologise.
Thank you.
It's a bad joke.
Other studies only proposed using
I was
mice...
punching
again,
up
okay.
though because she's white.
You got me there. And she's a whore.
I was punching up.
This is fucking dumb. This is really dumb and really, really funny. So I'm actually alright with this one based on how funny it is. They're transing the mice. They're taking the mice. They're giving them hormone therapy. And now they're trans.
You're giving Shane Gillis a run.
That's
for his
$10
money.
million to make trans mice. When will it end? No, we are okay with making sure that hormone therapy, again, a very common thing that many people do, does not
You and
hurt the
Ethan
effectiveness
have
of
the best Trump.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Did Chelsea Clinton get a big paycheck from USAID? No. Several vile posts on X claim Chelsea Clinton raked in a large $84 million sum from USAID, but the reference to Clinton actually refers to her family's Clinton Foundation, and the only Clinton-related organization that has received USAID money is the Clinton Health Access Initiative, to which they gave $5.7 million in 2019. People really just be on X just fucking lying, huh? They just be out here just straight fucking full of shit.
How is X? I heard Kanye's been banned. Or deleted it.
Absolute misinformation machine. Dear God. I'm almost at a point where I think anything that I would read on there, I would assume is not true. Anything at all, ever. Yikes. Let's ban all hormone therapy. We'll see how those dudes feel when they can't get their T injections. Not even T injections. Like, the amount of people that are on, like, estrogen blockers just for weightlifting.
Oi,
Because they have too much estrogen.
why have you targeted that? There's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say there was anything
There's
wrong with
nothing
it.
wrong with a man having high levels of estrogen.
I didn't say there was.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's normal.
It
makes,
actually is.
some people would
it-
argue it makes you a better actor.
It actually is sort of normal, to be clear. Elon is the one pushing a lot of it out. Yeah, I mean, that's the strategy, right? Is like, if you overwhelm people with disinformation, they do exactly what I'm doing here, which is debunk disinformation rather than talking about the things that actually matter. The problem is, I actually don't know the solution. How do I find the things that actually matter? How do I find them? You leftists using Twitter is the only thing that still gives it a smidge of legitimacy. I don't disagree, but the people are leaving en masse. Like, I still have contracts that still require me to post sponsored things on there. I also very rarely post. I posted today, right? But I'm not reading any of my responses to it. It's good, isn't it?
I've seen
I
that.
hit tweet. Because it just seemed like the kind of thing to post on Twitter. Is all I'm trying to say. And then I posted a video link on February 3rd. Probably didn't need to post that one. We're going to delete this one.
What is that?
It's me saying that I would smash God of War. Who, to be fair, I would smash. This is me advertising a charity. Stand by that for sure. Yeah, not a thing I use very often. Anyway. What about the transgender mice? So this, okay, not true. I want to find out the gaming one. So it's something about Jesus Christ, Rahul.
Who's got too much testosterone? No, too little estrogen, whatever I have. Someone said, Rahul, are you an alpha? Anyone who categorizes themselves in any of those forms is not.
And he's definitely not on estrogen blockers. Anyway,
Who's on estrogen blockers?
no, definitely not you.
I'm not on
No,
estrogen
you,
blockers.
you would never do that. Common thing though.
I look, hypothetically, when someone was working on a show, hypothetically, it actually wasn't even hypothetical. So a friend of mine who's an actor, why are you fucking smiling? A friend of mine who's an actor, yeah, he had to get in shape to play the sheriff. And he went, and the doctor said, you have really high levels of testosterone, like astronaut. These are the high, like.
Never seen it before. The highest. Some are saying the highest ever.
And he said you had the highest levels of testosterone I'd seen. But at the same time, you had equally high levels. This is what he said to my friend.
Yeah,
of
friend.
estrogen.
In what show?
Huh?
What show was that in?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But so then they were then given this thing to lower the estrogen, but to maintain the already high levels of testosterone that was present.
Yeah.
And said, if you take these, then
Estrogen blockers.
you will, yeah. And they were like, and it doesn't, and you probably have high testosterone and all of that, which is why you're 6'4" and
yeah. He's definitely talking about Andy. Yeah. Andy Cortez. I don't think Gaming One has a paper trail because it's literally just Asmongold thinking USAID paid political means that USAID was paying them to write bad stories about gamers. Gotcha. Okay, it's just Asmongold. Did Politico get paid by the government? Yes, but for subscriptions, not USAID grants. Must Trump and other right-wing figures have spread false claims that USAID gave the news outlet Politico millions of dollars, which Trump basically claimed was to write good stories about the Democrats, suggesting this could be the biggest scandal in history. But Politico never received any donations from USAID, according to funding reports on usspending.gov and a statement from the company. USAID spent $44,000 between 2023 and 2024 on subscriptions to Politico Pro, which the news outlet describes as a professional subscription service used by companies, organizations, and some government agencies. And is targeted to specialized users in private sector who want to track legislation, policy, and news. Oh. That's like when I worked at Ziff Davis, they would buy us all subscriptions to various, Ziff Davis is the company that owns IGN. You would have subscriptions to various other outlets in order to keep a track on things, like so that I didn't have to worry about being gated or actually fun thing about working at IGN, technically we all bought IGN subscriptions for working at IGN. This is a little bit different, but that's so that you never see the ads that are on the site, so that you as a journalist, when you are reporting on something, you don't even know what's being advertised on the site. The sales department is totally separate, like they're literally different. I wouldn't even be able to, aside from one person, I wouldn't even be able to tell you the names of anyone who worked on the sales team when I worked at IGN. I couldn't point them out in a crowd. Never interacted with them. But yeah, they would buy the subscriptions for you so that you had no idea what was being advertised, so that you were never influenced by things that were being advertised on the site, which is great. But yeah, Ziff Davis also bought subscriptions to other things that you would just need to see as a journalist, basically, so that you could access information. That seems fine to me. This is literally just like buying people access to an outlet so that they can keep up to date with things. And it's normal for organizations to do that kind of thing. I think that's pretty normal across the board. Politico said it never received any government subsidies or grants. Clarified the purchase was a transaction and not funding. Yeah, they just bought something. Conspiracies about Politico being funded by USAID spread after a technical error caused paychecks for Politico staff to be delayed earlier this week, leading some ex-users to jump to the false conclusion that USAID, which was gutted before the payroll issue, must have been funding the outlet. So then where's the Asmongold reaction? I want to just see if there's something else that he said that he, like, that I missed in some way. Look at this blind. Oh boy.
Gamers!
They targeted gamers, bro.
Liberals are big mad.
What?
Very, very big mad. Just so you can understand how big mad, well, every day for the last 2 weeks, I was thinking, wow, I've never seen liberals this mad. But then the next day came
I'm
along
watching
in
a
order to
19-minute
prove it.
video, you guys. This is too long. Does he, like, have timestamps? That's too fucking long. I'm just trying to find the source of what he said. Aspen is owned by his editors. Notoriously, as we all know. I'm not watching 19 minutes of this. See if the video has a transcript. You're right, it does have a transcript. Okay, social media.
Is Ethan watching?
Yeah, that's Eve. That's him.
Why did you come round and not knock and say hello?
You were asleep, brother.
He could have woken me up.
Oh, his source was an expo / clip? Maybe I can find it here. No. That doesn't mention gamers.
How much estrogen do you think Ethan has? Or testosterone?
I don't really know anymore. That friend that you have being tested high for estrogen actually really surprised me because that friend is like pretty hairy.
It wasn't. Again, you're missing the point. They weren't tested.
Sorry.
for...
It was really high estrogen because that
and
friend
testosterone.
is pretty hairy and also like I think pretty masculine. That friend that you have that is 6'4" and had to play a sheriff on TV.
They're saying that they had both high levels.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have thought that their estrogen would be high. I guess that person is very emotional.
Why
though,
did Eve mention baby hand?
Don't worry about it. Did I out you for telling people about baby hand?
What?
Like all of our friends know about your little baby hand because I've told them about it. Sometimes when Rahul sleeps, it looks like he has this tiny little hand because he sleeps like this, and it makes his hand look really small.
Like I have a child.
Yeah, it's like a little baby hand. Are we funded by any governments? Yes, we've seen. Okay, you know what does this have
They're
to do
both
with game
high,
to game,
doesn't
bro?
it? Cancel them out. Yes, that was the point.
So how funny was our war like this? Trump sense you said. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate. Oh my god, that's so lame.
Can tell this person, which is a time traveler, the solution to this existential problem. And my solution is to explain to him, it's like, look, because you fucked
I'm
without-
finding this painful.
He cleaned his house. I watched that video.
I spoke to him about it.
He had blood on the walls.
Yep. I'm happy for him.
video games.
For that particular.
Right,
That's
so
the reason. Everybody used to have video games. We could have just gone.
He definitely has Tourette's, right? Or at the very least, like a tick.
Yeah, I think so.
Same as Ethan Klein.
Yeah.
The eyebrow
and
tick,
Billie
I think, is
Eilish.
really common.
Billie Eilish has that.
Billie Eilish also has that. And it is Tourette's, right? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm sorry, I can't stand whoever's voice that is. It's this little fella. I don't know who he is. But he's there. Why is Asmund getting info from a cartoon gremlin? It's a great question. I'm just trying to find the source of this particular thing. It's a bad time to be an Ethan. Yeah, you're just constantly seeing posts about how everybody hates Ethan.
Why? Who's Ethan?
Oh, because Ethan Klein.
Oh, I don't really understand it.
And fucking fucked off and done our own thing inside of the video games, and everything was fine. And then they had to come and get into the video games. You politicize video.
Hear me out.
You know when you shouldn't politicize video games?
Isn't he like an example of that though? Because like they say like don't politicize video games, but wasn't Asmongold a WoW streamer who then basically started doing like a ton of political content? Like hasn't he sort of politicized video games?
Do they want...
Hasn't he done that too?
Do they want us to remove Metal Gear Solid?
No, they don't think Metal Gear Solid is... Well, because we know that when they say political for things like this, they're not talking about
They're talking about
politics. They're talking
of
about
caste
black
and-
people.
Ah, yeah, specifically, sure. Yeah. You don't want to play as a non-white.
Yeah, that's politics.
That's it.
But like actual politics being present is not. It's a misuse of the
Because
word.
we know Last of Us was an allegory for... That's what he said, right?
Yeah, he did say it was inspired by Israel
And
Palestine.
Palestine, right? Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's just straight political.
I just want to find why he thinks this has got anything to do with game.
You can't keep politics out of games or art or media. It's what goes on. Man.
2014 gamers are overwhelmingly apolitical. Young people didn't even care about politics. I mean, it is true that there's definitely been a gamers to alt-right like pipeline that's clearly Elon is pushing into. I'm just trying to find why this is being considered to have anything to do with Gamergate. Just trying to find that. Sorry, I'm scrolling the transcript.
Both of us have worked at fairly high levels in
I can't find it. He's
both
just
of
ranting
our
about politics and
fields.
games.
And met a lot of people within both of
I
our
can't find it.
industries.
I can't find it. I can't find what he's saying. I'm not watching this whole fucking video.
Isn't it crazy when you meet artists how art is so inherently the people that make it are progressive liberal.
They're woke and gay, dude.
But it's ridiculous. Like it starts from literally like the drama school class at school.
I've said
right?
this on
And
stream before. One of the things
outcast. It's the feeling that you're not accepted.
It's one of the things
in
that
society.
I actually said this to Asmongold. I said this to him, and he was like, "Oh, that makes sense," but I guess he didn't relay it. He may have. I don't know. I don't watch his streams, but is that the reason that so many people who are making your games are like interested in representation is that they're making games for who they were as a kid. Like it's if there's a trans person in a game, it's because yes, of course, the people that you bullied as a kid for playing too many video games of being nerdy ended up making them. You push them into a corner, they end up making them. And then they want to make art that they feel like they identify with or that would affirm the life experiences they had. It's like, no, it really is just that the people making these games largely have been bullied by the kind of people who are now complaining that they're making it themselves. Because you remember like that period of time as well where the whole thing was if you don't fucking like it, make it yourself. And so now these people are making games themselves and they're like, just stop at the diversity. But of course they were going to. They were bullied little like nerds. Yeah, you end up making art and you end up trying to say something. Like that's what are we all doing if not trying to appease our inner child?
Also, a lot of people.
Literally all it is.
A lot of people. You could do one of two things. When school is so formative for all of us, it's so crucial, and most people probably do feel that's part of just being a teenager. I think feeling like you're alone, feeling lost, feeling like everything's coming down on you. There's always the exceptions. Yeah, we all have our versions of jocks and kids who like had girlfriends early and seemed to be like we had that, sure, but I think most of us all felt like outcasts. And you could do one of two things, which was you either spend a lot of the time alone, in consuming media, consuming art, and maybe even honing your art, right, and getting real good at it while you're not picked for school and you don't go to the dance and you don't have that, or you can go online on Reddit and be amongst other people who feel that way.
Yeah, sure.
And then that's the incel culture, right? So that group of people who were like, well, I'm going to keep practicing music. I don't fit in. I'm going home and I'm going to do piano. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to my
Like, are you
dance
surprised
class.
that the gay kid that you bullied in school for being gay ended up working in Hollywood?
Right.
Hollywood's overrun by gays. Yeah, the kid who was gay in acting class that you picked on for being gay indulged in the thing that he was doing.
Yeah. I negate it. I didn't go to art early enough because I was already kind of picked on anyway, and I had way too many buttons being in a racist high school. So I just like
I got picked on for playing video games. They like to act like that's a thing that didn't happen to women too, but
yeah, I mean, I'm saying
totally doubled down.
I don't think I honed
whole
enough. I don't think I honed an art, but I consumed enough media that made me want to be a part of that world. And then I went to drama school at 18, and
I mean,
at
you're
18
basically
years
obsessed
old,
with film.
yeah, absolutely obsessed with film and video games. And then when I was 18, I went to drama school, and that was a culture shock, and I was ostracized as well a little bit. And I went there, and I met. At 18, I started to have friends of all ages, of all backgrounds, different genders, different sexualities, all things I wasn't exposed to at the kind of like everyone, because everyone had to be closeted, so to speak, at school. And
Sounds like generalizing. Yes, we're generalizing. He's speaking about anecdotal personal experiences. That's okay.
Well, what's generalizing?
The conversation we're having. Also, someone said, "Didn't everyone get picked on for playing videos?" Yeah, probably.
That's what I'm
not
saying.
I was
I'm saying
unique
you
for
have
that.
you.
It just- it did happen.
I'm saying you can have two branches, though, can't you?
Two ways you can.
There are two ways you can go. You can continue to play them, have an interest in them, maybe think, you know what, I want to be a part of this world. I want to contribute to it. I want to be a part of it. Or you can go online and join forums and join hate groups. And go, we're getting made fun of, and now these fuckers want to take it. You can go two paths, man. You can contribute to the industry you love, or you can scream and shout about it, trying to incite changes.
Yeah.
And most people.
That's not true, WAZ. The thing here is artists are not making the decisions. No, they are. They are.
What?
The problem is, this person here said the thing is artists are not making those decisions. CEOs are hiring project leads that are designing games to be like that. Artists just do what they're told. That's not true.
That's not true.
A, CEOs don't hire artists for game dev studios. That's not how that works. B, no, it really is just the artist making the art that they want to make. It really is.
And
you think it's all some like agenda? It's not. It's really just a bunch of nerds who were picked on, end up working in an industry because they were picked on, and then became social recluses, and then they get really obsessed with the thing, and then they decide to make it, and they just want to like appease people who like them were picked on as kids. It's straight up that simple. It's CEOs don't hire project leads.
And the crazy thing is, CEOs, if they did,
Not even close.
Do you think like they know at this point, they know what's going to happen when they allow an IP or a game to have a female lead instead, or a person of color? They know that they're going to get backlash. They know that people are going to try and boycott and do all of this. That goes against the CEO's way of line must go up, profits must go up, right? Like diversity, DEI is contrary to that. They're not trying to make more money. There are no monetary benefits.
That's not entirely true either.
You don't think so?
No, not in video games. Like, there are monetary benefits because we've run out of gamers. So, like, there are not enough gamers right now to sustain capitalism's, like, ever-hungry growth for new players because they're all getting sucked into social media or Roblox, right? So we need more gamers. So, like, while I've never seen or even heard of this happening, it is beneficial to try to get more people playing video games, for sure. You want more groups consuming your product.
But do you think that hiring and having diverse leads is a way to do that? No, that's not. But it's ways to like bring it to the families, bring it to the tell story, right? Like, I'm sure they have other ways of that. I'm just saying that this whole idea that diversity is some sort of money-making scheme, right? Because that's what it's accused of. That's what that person just said. It's just it's nonsense.
Way more simple. It's just artists making art that reflects them. Because how do you make art that doesn't reflect you? You know what I mean? Like,
but diversity is the opposite. We know that just by a game being diverse, it already puts off groups of people paying for it, just because they're full of hate and they don't want
those
it.
groups are really small, though.
You think?
Well, yeah, it's not succeeded. None of their Go Work, Go Broke has succeeded. They're trying to do that with Kingdom Come Deliverance too, and it had like 1 million players day one.
Yeah. But do they think so by their reckoning that gay kiss that you can have with Hans was there, to make it more successful?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. That is just artists making art.
Right.
And like, yeah, art's gay, dude.
Can you do that?
A lot of artists are real fucking gay.
Can you do that in Mass Effect?
Yeah.
In 2004,
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, you could boy kiss.
Jesus wept.
It's just a new talking point. They're acting like it's a change, like it hasn't always been a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing in favor of the anti-diversity argument, by the way, just to be completely clear. Yeah, I'm not even saying that you're arguing, Waz. It's just that CEOs are not hiring people in the games industry. That is absolutely not true. Like 100% false. The CEOs have nothing to do with the hiring process whatsoever. Just not true.
There was
people are not hired for financial reasons. That is just not happening.
Yeah. There was an
Hello,
X post I saw today, because Netflix have just done an Alexander the Great documentary with, I get either it's a documentary or a dramatic.
New Dragon Age seems like, maybe depending on the group, there is a large group. I wasn't interested in Dragon Age either. Dragon Age had way more problems than that. Like, for me personally, it was the art style was super off-putting. I didn't play that game. It's not a go broke thing. Like, it just wasn't appealing to a lot of people. Same as like Baldur's Gate 3, extremely woke. I don't know why they always try and act like that one doesn't exist. Extremely successful. That game's woke as shit.
I also didn't know
Gay as hell.
You could kiss Hans until after I bought and played Kingdom Come. I was already playing it without the gay kiss.
Apply for a refund, man?
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, there was a post on X. So Netflix are making, or have made, Alexander the Great documentary, and
cool.
or fictionalized dramatic telling of it. And someone was complaining on X because they were like 8 minutes in and they've made Alexander the Great gay. It's a serious post.
Funny.
What's going on?
My bad then, because I won't fully understand how the hiring process works. The hiring process works the same way it works in any other industry. It's just like a manager goes, hey, we need another person because we don't have enough people to do this. And then they solicit resumes and then they interview with the team. Like, there's no CEO going, hire someone diverse. This is just fabricated.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
In fact, it doesn't happen regardless. It's just not a thing. You just hire the people who have the most experience and the best at the job. And certainly DEI is a thing where you will try to cast a wider net for who you talk to. But again, even when we had DEI hiring, where you would be trying to cast a wide net and speak to more women and people of color, we still ended up hiring a white dude.
I will say though that
Steve was
certain
just the best person in the
studios will say, "Yo, you have 9 series regulars and they're all white. Are you telling me that this cast, and it's not because it's set in, you know, medieval England 1666 or whatever the fuck, right? And that it's historically correct. You've just not seemed to have hired anyone from any other pool or representation. And we think you should go back and look and see if you can make the cast slightly less white." That's happened. I know that's happened. And that is to make sure that they've been auditioning and making sure that they haven't just completely stuck to a purely white cast, not because it's correct for the time period, but that they haven't been giving opportunities to
I'm also not saying that I don't think that that's happening specifically at like Netflix and shit.
Yeah.
I do think the media, the TV media, like is doing that.
But they want representation.
Yeah, because they're trying to get more people. Like they are trying to get more audiences. It's all monetary at the end of the day.
Well, and also a lot of these things are being played and watched worldwide.
Where was someone asked me a question? If it said there is a labor shortage, no one seems to know where they went. You said there's a shortage of gamers now as well. Where are they going, do you suppose? My next YouTube video is going to be about this, about where the gamers are going. But it's ultimately social media. At the end of the day, social media is stealing time people used to spend gaming. It is eating them. Another executive order just came in to allow plastic straws in government. Not joking. That one's so fucking weird. People are like, yeah, the paper straws were woke. I hate a paper straw, bro. They're really annoying. But yeah, plastic is bad. Like, why?
My understanding on the DEI anger us towards...
Sorry, did I miss it?
Yeah, the top one. Towards forced DEI keeps going. And that it isn't done well.
I agree with that. Publicly, openly agree forced DEI is obvious and bad. Like, if you are... Forced DEI is even the wrong way to say it. But, like, if they're... I feel like they do that with female characters, and I've complained about this sometimes, where they, like, feel like they have to make them a boss, strong woman, and then as a result, they make a shit character. I'm not for that.
But isn't there a misconception about DEI that it's not about you must hire X amount of people of color or this or that?
Yeah, I spoke about that earlier.
It's that hey, hold on, you can't not give them the job because of
correct. That's what DEI is.
Minorities.
Correct. It's literally just equity.
There's a huge difference between the two.
Yeah.
Anyway, we all know what DEI just stands for. As well, how it's being used. It's just a way of them saying black.
Tokenism has always been bad. That's nothing new. Yeah, we agree on tokenism being bad.
Yeah, tokenism.
We all agree on that.
No one likes tokenism.
Yeah.
I know when I'm on a show and I go, you've tokened me.
Yeah, totally. I tweeted this. I mean, I used to get tokened as a woman sometimes, where they'd be like, Alanah, can you speak on the woman's issue? And I'd be like, what? No, I have no opinion on this. I have an issue. I've spoken to Rahul about this before, where so often if someone asks me for an interview, they want to talk about harassment or like what it is being a woman navigating in the space. And I want to be like, so I refuse. I don't talk about it because you're just using me as like token woman speaking on harassment. Can you ask me about any of the facets of game design that I like? Why do I have to talk about being woman? So I have a policy where I will not do that. That's tokenism, which again, we're against. Yeah, and I hate women. Ethan's made a great point. When they say, Alanah, what's it like being a woman? I say against.
I don't think anyone likes to be a token. Token anything. Except alpha males like me. We don't mind being the token guy.
Fuck
in
yeah.
a room full of girls.
Full of bitches. Am I right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad they banned woke straws. It's so fucking weird.
I'm only in your stream because I got to go gym soon. I just haven't spent any time with you. You've just straight up ignored me for 24 hours. I don't even want to be here.
Why are you the way that you are?
I hate politics.
I intentionally slept on the couch last night just because I wanted to be around you for longer. You said go to bed, and I said no. I want to be next to you, even though
Yeah.
I'm really tired.
Facing that way.
But I wanted to be in your presence.
You know what? It's the quality of time, isn't it? It's wonderful quality time spent.
I didn't sleep, Rahul.
Yeah, cool.
Bitches. And you was asking if he was the alpha. It's always
No, but
always
do you want to do this on stream?
Oh.
But what, like, you when someone has been away and they come back and they just crash out, it's like, it's disappointing, isn't it? You get the house ready, you get the dog ready, you do all of the stuff, you go buy the stuff, and you get ready, and you
got the house
order
ready,
the
but
food.
yeah.
No, I did other stuff too, and and you made me come and pick you up from the airport.
I did not make you come and pick me up from the airport. Make?
Well,
I
not
made
make,
you?
but you wanted
didn't
me
even
to.
ask.
You said you would like me to. You said it'd be
Also,
nice.
Yeah, but I didn't say you had to.
So I just Ubered. I basically Uber drivered, brought you back, got you a meal that you wanted, and you passed out.
Yeah. I was very tired.
Yeah, that's fine. But the next time that you go away and you're gone for a while, don't get all weird if I don't make any fanfare or plans,
That's completely fine.
because you might be dead for 24 hours.
Completely fine with it.
Fine.
100% okay. And now you're mad that you woke up at 11 even though I woke up at 8:30. Actually, I think you woke up at 12.
No, I woke up at 11.
And then I had to do this, which is technically work. While you was off doing your painting, yeah? Because you don't have to do fucking anything. You sit around playing with your dick all day. This fucking guy. He did buy really nice snacks there, everybody. I had 3 of them this morning of the Nutella biscuits.
Did you have those heart-shaped donuts?
Oh my god. I've not had the donuts, no.
Do you want one?
No.
No.
All right.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
have
though.
coffee. I gotta go gym soon.
Yeah, you're right. I did have a bout of chronic fatigue and bad days during on the cruise. I was asleep the whole time, but Rahul's really toxic about it, where he goes, "You're always tired," and I go, "Yeah, I wonder why."
Emmy. He's just shitting and shagging eggs. I love how people.
Oh, I keep forgetting about the egg
Yeah.
thing. I keep forgetting about.
Guys, this is what an abusive
what I want to
relationship looks like. Thank you, Ethan. Yes, it is what an abusive relationship looks like.
Wait, from which
when someone's being
which side?
used and being taken advantage of.
Which one of us is being abused?
The fact that you don't even know.
Why did I slaved over a hot stove black, by the way. Why did you say black, by the way? Cooking for my girlfriend who was in San Fran traveling for work, working 12-hour days for 5 days. When she got back, she slept for 8 hours. When she could have been talking to me horrible.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's up for interpretation. Rahul loved you in Midnight Mass, but are you sure you weren't referring to his friend? Who is maybe has really high estrogen? Maybe. In any case, I do need to finish so I can eat. Isn't that the perfect moment to just cuddle and sleep? I did just come home and cuddle Banjo and
We barely spoke.
and slept on the couch immediately.
Yeah.
But I had also been up
Yeah.
since
I'm just
5,
glad we
and
got
after
to-
a night of I only slept for
I'm
3
not
hours.
even being sarcastic. I'm just glad that we got to talk in the car when I picked you up from the airport. I'm really glad that we had to at least connect for a little bit. I hadn't seen you for a week.
And then we watched the halftime show.
That was 12 minutes, and then you passed out again.
I did. Yeah.
Super. I'm glad I didn't get
I
excited.
wasn't passed out before that.
Do you know
I passed
what?
out after that.
No. You have every right to. You were working and you were doing DJing. I'm just saying. I'm really glad that I wasn't super excited to see you. Otherwise, I would have had my feelings hurt.
That's great. Glad you weren't then. Speaking of abuse and harassment, you see Brewster Teeth is back. I did, yes. I asked Bernie for an interview because I had no fucking idea. None of us knew, I don't think. Oh, hell yeah. No much no more. Very glad to hear it. All my homies love Supernatural. Go for Rahul. She said she might try to sleep with you. I did. I said today even.
I might.
We'll see.
I might.
Well, what? I've not said anything.
You've been running your mouth the whole time.
I'm not running my mouth.
You've been running it up and down the street
Chat. Oh my god.
about me coming home from a trip and sleeping.
Chat.
What do you think I would do?
Guy is opening up and not lashing out or being bottling it up and doing any toxic masculinity, sharing his feelings and saying, you know, I was so excited to see you. It was such a shame that we barely only spoke in the car and then you slept until 8 a.m. That sucks. I wish we could have spent more time together talking about stuff and whatever. I ordered your favorite meal. I did this, I did that. And it's being perceived as running my... Well, you are from Australia, so...
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. You know.
I'm from Australia. I don't know what that means. I mean, I am from Australia.
Yeah.
I'm from Australia too and equally confused.
Is that why you... Yeah, I'm not surprised you're confused.
Where was the recognition that someone might be tired? Acceptance of disabilities could go a long way. He doesn't. He just gets mad at me for being
Where's
tired all the time.
someone... well, okay. Acceptance of disabilities. What about the acceptance that I have ADHD?
You told me the other day that you don't. How you do not fucking get to do
I
that.
also have bipolar.
You told me the other day that you were like, I don't have ADHD, you just think I do.
I also
And I
have-
was like, you told me you did.
I also have high levels of estrogen.
No, your friend. Allegedly.
No, I'll say it now because I'm to win an argument. We've all got disabilities. I'm also colorblind.
Yep. I didn't say that you didn't though.
I have accepted and understand that you fall asleep a lot.
Yeah. I think you even like make sure you come home and sleep because you've been fainting. Remember when I almost fainted at the top of the stairs?
No, I didn't say that.
I think you might have.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. No, I just imagined a nicer boyfriend, I guess.
I didn't think that you needed to sleep from 6 p.m. till the following 8 a.m. with a 12-minute Kendrick Lamar halftime thing.
I didn't fall asleep at 6. And I definitely did watch Kendrick.
You did. I'll pull it up on
I thought
Ring.
it was 6
Do you want me to pull it
personally.
up on Ring? It was 6.
If you want,
It
it's
was
fine.
6.
I was very tired.
Yeah.
So, did I need 12 hours sleep? Frankly, yes. Yes, I did. It is what it is. Fainted at the top of the stairs? Yeah, no, I almost fainted at the top of the stairs. Which, yeah, CFS been real bad lately. And when I get it bad, I get fainty. And I have fainted down a staircase once before, but only one time. Wasn't great. I'm in Florida. That's a disability. I too was in Florida. Tampa, beautiful this time of year. Yeah, no, fainting at the top of the stairs is not great. Did happen once before. I had a huge bruise on my ass afterwards. Massive bruise.
It's a good excuse. And I just bought that without questioning it.
What did you think happened?
No, I'm just saying I never even questioned it. You said you fainted at the top of the stairs. That's why you have bruise up your ass.
I said on. It wasn't up my ass.
Yeah.
It wasn't internal.
Now I'm.
You watched me a week ago almost faint at the top of the
No, I'm
stairs.
just saying,
You ran to my
That's
aid.
crazy that I took your word on that.
Why are you doing this? What's happening?
I haven't eaten.
Rahul's hangry. It makes sense.
Is it?
It's the lowest
If it's beta to be disappointed you didn't get to hang out with someone that you care about, then yeah, I'm beta.
You know you're going to get shit for this. I don't know why you've decided to do this.
Who's going to give me shit?
People are definitely going to give you shit for this.
Who?
The comments
Asmongold.
are definitely going to give you shit for this one, bruv.
Asmongold.
Maybe. I don't know what he's up to. I couldn't figure it out. The video was 19 minutes long.
Yeah. Oh, so I was upset. Remember, I ordered that bowl for you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you eaten it?
No, it's
Still hasn't eaten
it's
it.
in the fridge.
Yeah.
I was too tired.
Cool.
I couldn't. What do
Yeah.
you want me to do? I had to
Newsflash in 2025, it's beta to want to spend time with your partner. So then, yeah, I'm the biggest beta cuck. Yeah.
What are you doing? Why? Why is this happening? Oh man.
Chaos. I don't know. Who's going to come for me? People in your comments.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that one guy that always goes, "Oh, Rahul's in the stream."
And he's right. And today he's fucking right. Alanah seen the Game Grumps merch collab. Guess Grumps when? Very soon. That's all I'm gonna say. Am I allowed to say that? Am I gonna get fired from the Game Grumps? Very soon. Genuinely, I am gonna go eat though, in silence, away from Rahul. I'm gonna eat by myself, not speak to him the whole time. We are back on a regular schedule now that I'm not doing min-max stuff. So, we'll be streaming
Again, Kingdom Come.
Wednesday. Yeah, I might do Kingdom Come tomorrow night, maybe. Wednesday at 1. I could do Kingdom Come then too. Maybe. And Friday. And at some point Thursday.
Oh, you're not streaming
sure.
on Valentine's Day?
I was actually going to spend Valentine's Day evening with Ethan. I realized I didn't tell you that.
You better not.
That's not a joke. Because,
You better not.
Because you and I booked dinner for a different
Doesn't
night.
matter.
Am I
It's
not
2
allowed?
days. You better not. You absolutely
I'm
better
not
not.
joking. Well, we should chat about that. I was planning to spend it with you.
So because we're eating the day before,
Yeah.
you're going out now. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now. Go Ethan's. I'm gonna go out.
We're going.
There's somewhere I'll go on Valentine's
We're
Day.
going to a concert.
Yeah, I'm going somewhere where there's music too.
Okay,
Cool.
that's fine. It was an accident that it happened to be on that day. It's not Valentine's Day.
No,
it just
have fun.
Coincides.
Have fun.
Thank you. We'll have.
And by the way, I'm a Scorpio, yeah?
So is he.
No. So he'll know this, yeah? I'm holding him equally responsible for making plans with you on Valentine's Day. There will be repercussions.
Fair enough. Anyway, thoughts on Rooster Teeth coming back on a Bernie? Yeah, I like I said, I have no idea. I thought it was a very strange choice. I had no idea it was happening. I don't know why it's happening. I'm confused, and I'm interviewing Bernie about it. So we'll have that up on the Play Watch Listen channel. 7A, drop it like it's hot. Well,
Yeah, there's
this
Ethernet.
person's also born on
They
November
have Ethernet cables where I'm going, yeah.
1st. Can you give a game code, Jeff, to Anthony 2445 for that one?
Really?
Yeah, I give people free games if they make me laugh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a recent thing. Until we run out, I guess.
Chewbacca, but
Jushbaka.
Jewsbacker would love to spend Valentine's Day with me.
What if we come to where your concert is after? Oh yeah, we could join you at the strip club. I mean, the Ethernet market.
No, I don't want either of you two fuckers there. Go do your little concert thing, and then you can go and talk about how, I'm a streamer, I'm internet, got anxieties. I'll be out at the fucking strip club.
I don't have anxiety. Remember?
Yeah.
I did a test and I came back with zero
You can
anxiety.
talk about OBS and all the things that you are. Oh, have you guys?
I do use OBS.
Have you seen the new update to OBS? I've noticed that I can't do. That's what you fuckers can do. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man.
I do use OBS.
It's all right. I'm good.
Thank you for noticing. Yeah, Ethan does indeed have anxiety. But I did test. I got 0. Which I've already known. I've said before I have a weird absence of anxiety, but my test came back literally 0. Moderately severe depression, 0 anxiety. Yeah, literally flat 0. Not even a 1. It was a test my doctor gave me. I mean, it's not like I'm not anxious about things that are normal to be anxious about. I just don't have any, like, baseline anxiety. I don't feel anxious for no reason ever. Yeah, I may have -1. Okay, I am actually going to go eat. We will be live again on Wednesday at 1. I might stream Kingdom Come at night, though. Gaming streams at night times, so maybe we'll do that tomorrow night or something.
The first couple hours is great.
I really want to do Eternal Strands first, is my only beef, but I don't know. I'll make a decision. That if I do that one, maybe we could do that Tuesday. I don't fucking know. I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't decided. Let's go Ray.
Hassan,
Yeah, he really needs it. I'm really
you should.
my political streams. I'm really. Did I?
Drop in the ocean.
I've never rated it before. That's not obvious. Hey, we really gotta help him out.
Yeah.
You know, helping small streamers is what we do. Which is maybe one day he'll make it, but for now, I'll be stealing his views.